What's up, everybody? Joe's a little late. His audio and video are connecting as we speak, but we're on time, so that's all good. What's going on? Hope everyone had a good weekend. Things are all right here. Just plowing through as best I can. You know what I'm saying? Been writing a lot of music. Joe's actually been helping that out. I had a song queued up and ready to go, and he came up with a vocal melody for it, and it's gonna be a song that I'm gonna work on. It needs a midsection. It needs another part, but the skeleton's there. The vocal melody's pretty awesome that he came up with, and I'm hoping to get some lyrics to that. Hopefully he fucking writes some lyrics to that. Would be cool. And maybe just release like a single, me and him. It's not like anything we've recorded in the past, so it wouldn't be like a Darrow thing or anything like that. Probably be just a one-off. But yeah, I'm excited to continue to work on that and other music that I've been grinding hard on. I don't know what this guy's doing. He's supposed to his audio and video are connecting. It's still not connected yet. What's up, Curtis? How's everyone doing? Let me know how you're feeling today. What else happened this weekend? After Friday with Howie, I continued to drink and I did black out. That actually happened. It wasn't just a clever name. I actually blacked out. It was a rough night. Joe's late to everything, like right now, if you could see, I'll show you the screen. This is what I see. It says Joe Vast is connecting to audio and can't hear you yet. So as we wait for Joe, we'll just continue on. So yeah, Friday night, I kept drinking Tully, and then I stopped by a friend's house here in Nashville and continued to drink tequila. And I don't know what happened after that. I know Taco Bell happened. That's for fucking shit sure. There was evidence of Taco Bell all over my shirt, and Oh, you blacked out too, Rick? Damn. What were you drinking? You were drinking Captain Morgan's, or I forgot what you were drinking. But I should have known better, because tequila and I don't mix. Especially if I've been drinking whiskey. It's just not a good combination. You ask... Arturo would forbid me to drink tequila, especially after whiskey, because those are the nights I just get like a different kind of drunk. It's like an angry, I don't know, not a fun drunk. Oh, Joe's here. Hold on. We're gonna connect to his audio. It looks like he's connecting though. So yeah, I got like tequila drunk. It like just took over the fucking whiskey. It was not a good idea to drink tequila. But Joe's here now. Hold on. Yeah, he's unmuted. Joe, are you with me?
Yeah, who the fuck is Anthony Chapelis?
That's my VIP guy. We're on live, so don't be saying nothing too crazy.
Ow.
And
if you're telling me I can't say fuck, we're gonna have a problem.
No, you can say fuck all you want. But here is JV Bastard. The crowd has quietly been waiting patiently for you.
Yes, I apologize.
Fucking
it's not my fault. I'm late. Do you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Anyone should I be able to see?
You're not gonna see me.
So I just gotta fucking stare at my dumb self.
You just stare at yourself. Everyone, just give me a sound check. Let me know that you hear Joe all right, that I'm not overpowering him, because I know he was complaining to me that I overpowered Howie with volume.
Oh my god.
So
it was painful. I watched the whole thing and I loved it.
Let a motherfucker know if I'm too loud. Clayton says
It's
hi.
Clayton. So, yo, I just found Clayton. I just saw I just found the beer, what a beer bagging videos.
Oh
I
my
just
God.
stumbled upon them. I have every one of them. You know what? I was excited. I enjoyed the episode with Howie because I never really got to hang with or know Howie.
Yeah, Howie's a
Um,
good dude.
he always seemed like a good dude, and
Everyone's saying our volume is good, by the way. So
word, and I don't often, I don't know, anyone who has a job that I had once in a band, I usually just like don't pay attention or look.
right, right.
And I usually just like don't care for something for one reason or another. I don't look. It's like watching someone fuck your girlfriend. Um, it's just weird. Um, but he's awesome, man.
Yeah,
I actually liked his playing, and like I knew he was really good, and like he did it good. Remind me of CJ Ramon on stage.
he was a monster on stage, and the part of it that he really brought along with playing well was that he was very active on stage. He would just stomp around, fly around. He was a disaster up there.
Yeah, that's all. I'm like more than Goolsby.
Say it again.
More than Goolsby?
A different kind, yeah, way more physical than Goolsby. Like he was just jumping.
No, I mean like more disastrous. Like I mean like
yeah, because
as far as like
he would just tumble over, sometimes trip. Like especially when he plays with Nim Vind, it's just him and Nim Vind, right? So he just runs across the stage and sometimes trips over Nim Vind, and yeah, he's a maniac. Fucking Mikey Gaston's in the house, dude. I miss Jersey. I miss Jersey food, really. There's a few people that I would love to see, but mostly I miss pizza, bagels, and Taylor ham.
Yo, I miss Tennessee food.
What's Tennessee food?
As weird as it sounds, man, like I was perfectly content with the quality of the cheeseburgers I was eating in my life until I moved to Tennessee. And like you remember, even like coming to the Emporium back in the day, how we'd fucking be talking about those burgers the whole way to Jackson, bro.
What the hell was he calling them?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't
remember.
It
was something crazy,
delicious.
like
whatever sauce that was. Oh my
dude,
goodness.
I kind of know what it is. Fuck, he's kind of on the tip of my tongue. Whatever the case, it turns out, man, all burgers in this town taste like that, dude.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and like, like I said, I fucking loved cheeseburgers just fine my whole life until I fucking lived here, and now, no,
it's not gonna be the same anymore.
No, it really isn't. It's crazy, and I really thought I had like a good recipe and a good thing going back in Jersey. Like I really perfected my burger recipe. Came here, threw it all out the window. You can't go to a restaurant. You can't go like even at home, man. I don't know what the fuck it was. I bet back in Jersey, just ain't the same.
Yeah. Riddle me this: would you trade off pizza for burgers?
I almost want to say that I could.
You could.
As crazy as that sounds, because I probably eat more pizza than burgers. But out of necessity, when I moved to Tennessee, I just decided that I wasn't going to eat Chinese food and pizza anymore. And like Taylor ham and cheese would be just impossible. So, so I just never ate Chinese food, and I wouldn't eat pizza. But eventually, out of necessity, I started eating like fucking frozen pizzas like all the time, dude. And let me tell you, they ain't fucking bad. And when I got back to Jersey, in the couple months, the 2 months I've been back, man, I've only had pizza two times. Yeah, like on two single occasions have I eaten pizza. That's living across the street from a pizza place. And I've eaten more frozen pizza in New Jersey than I have Jersey pizza since I've been back. I know how absurd that sounds. And not even good frozen pizza, bro.
You know what it
like
is?
Like fucking Tombstones and shit. I would have never ate that shit years ago.
Yeah. I've been here over 4 years now, and like it's not that when I was in Jersey I got pizza every fucking day. I certainly didn't. But now that it's been well over 2 years, there are days where like, delivery here is almost non-existent unless you're getting Uber Eats. I can't just call up a pizza place and get
even in Nashville.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah.
You know what I
You can
mean?
call Domino's.
That ain't fucking pizza.
That ain't fucking pizza. I'll tell you the best of those. If you gotta eat one of those for any reasons, and it's also the cheapest, these little fucking Caesars. If you gotta eat something like that, that's your best bet. But
Right.
that ain't it either. You know what? It's not the fucking pizza that I miss so much. I mean, I could deal with not having the best pizza all the time. You know, like I could live with that. It's the convenience of a simple lunch, or it's the convenience of sliced pizza.
Right.
You know, I don't need a whole fucking pie or 3 $5 pies of fucking shit pizza, man.
Like,
You
there's
know,
no
sometimes
fucking
you just
ziti slice. You can't grab a ziti slice.
sure, you know,
Yeah.
there's no pizza by the slice at all. I mean, it's like that everywhere, man.
Yeah.
You know, or just about everywhere. It's just the convenience is what I think bothers me most. I could deal with not having optimal pizza at all
Right.
moments, you know. I mean,
Uh,
fuck. Was your regular pizza place in Woodcliff Lake the best pizza place that you knew to get pizza from? No,
no, but
mine
like
either.
I could go to a bunch of places that were all like I would go to Natal's, or would go to this place, and they
You go
were
to
all kind of
any place, they were
comparable,
fine.
and they were all better than anything that's down here, like by far.
I've never found a pizza place here that wasn't like a novelty restaurant that sold glorified fucking Domino's.
I just want to say hi to Jason and April. I miss you guys. Fucking, I am not jacking off tonight.
Boo.
Yeah, no jack for me. And damn, Joe's got the Rumplemans. I remember a time, Joe, when you didn't drink Rumplemans.
I know. Can't believe it.
Can you believe it?
You know, it doesn't. It's been a while. I'm surprised I still drink it, to be honest with you, because
Yeah.
like I'm fucking immune to it. I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah.
I'm straight immune to it. It's disappointing. Like I still drink it for some reason. I still prefer it to any. I don't prefer it. I never find. You know, I don't like the shit, but
Right.
gets
Gets
the
the job
fucking
done.
job done quick
Yeah,
when it
gets the job
fucking
done.
needs to. Used to it anyway. But hey, never quit trying, right?
So I spoke with Tracy on Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah, I saw it. I watched it. I enjoyed it.
We're talking about some shit that happened. Do you remember the lightsaber incident and who the fuck? Because Crypt Keeper had a bunch of different dudes in the band, and I forget who.
I'll be honest with you, dude. I really don't. I remember of it, and I've heard you guys talk about it a bunch of times. And I was obviously there. I just wasn't outside when that happened.
Right.
I've always wondered how I missed that. You know, I wasn't there for it. I obviously kind of was. I just was probably downstairs or something.
We also hit on the Ghouls Night Out fight.
Oh yeah, dude,
Where
I fucking
I
love
compared you to a puppy.
a puppy with fucking. He didn't grow into his paws.
Right.
That was an excellent. I actually cited that story today and used that exact reference. That was perfect.
Because it was like your boots were too big to be in a fight. You know.
Well, there's two things that you guys. There's one thing that you missed, and there's another thing you had wrong.
Right.
I think you both confused it a little bit, and understandably, confuse what actually happened with what you see in the video.
Right.
And not to say that the video doesn't capture it, but like you weren't even in the room when the fight broke out.
Yeah,
you
I
just
was
seen
not.
the video of the beginning.
I saw that because you weren't at the beginning of the fight either, right? It was someone else, and I only jumped in there when I
was
saw
the
you.
first. I didn't even. I think it was someone. I think it was Billy Bones, right? Someone in Billy Bones, I believe,
Right.
or some kid at the fucking show, and like started fighting or wrestling in the middle of the fucking pit with one of our friends.
Right.
And I didn't cite it as a threat or that I was walking into a fight. If you watch the video, I have a cigarette in my hand too, man. I go over there very casually. I bend down and I just like think I'm gonna push these people apart and it's gonna stop. And then like I got knocked over. Like I don't even know how. I guess like it was like a pile on of people.
Clayton
I got
confirms
knocked
it
over.
was Billy Bones, by the way.
Or Clayton was there. That's right. Fucking that's that. Yeah, that's that year. Clayton, I have so much footage of that. It would blow your mind. I got so much footage of you, and awesome footage of Jason right after you gave him the Spider-Man hat you gave him. So I got to get it to you, man. It's really awesome. Like he says your name and everything. Like he's so like he's walking away from when you gave him that hat, and like he's walking toward the camera. He's like, dude, look what Clayton got me, bro. And he's so stoked, dude. I've always meant to show it to you. Whatever the case, yeah, I got like knocked over trying. I thinking I was breaking. I had a cigarette in my hand, bro. I didn't even have two hands empty. I didn't think I was getting into a fight. And Germs was near me or behind me when I approached it. So I figured I had back, and I figured it was no big deal. Like, it was like a littler kid on Billy, and I didn't think it was a violent fight, or I just thought it was unnecessary and it needed to be broken up. I was like pit enforcing, I was trying to be aggressive or. And then, to be completely honest with you, my assessment of the situation from watching the video, and I don't know, when I watch a video of myself, whether we're playing a show or anything else, I have this like remarkable ability to, like, when I see myself on camera, like I know what I'm thinking. Like, whether we're playing a show, I always know what was in my mind like at every moment when I watch it. It's weird. To go back, I think you were not in the room. I believe what I was told or what I understood or how the story went was that someone told you that Joe was in a fight.
Yep.
And you fucking ran from 3 rooms away, came in and fucking cleaned house without even taking names, looking at anything. And I guess I had gotten knocked down. And then like
you just slipped. You didn't really. It was no.
Yeah, I
slipped.
slipped.
It was just a bunch
and
of
then
slipping.
I never got hit even.
Yeah.
I slipped. And then I got up and I fucking fell again. Like really to my surprise, immediately after I got up. And then you came in and fucking like assessed the situation, totally broke the initial pile-on, and I got tough. Like I was just like, oh shit, Loki's. I don't know, when we were kids, it was like that. Like if you didn't throw, in our crew especially, if a fight broke out and you were involved, you were never gonna hear the end of it. That's just how, like, I mean, maybe not even as, I don't know. That's how it was, right. Dude. Like, I knew so I better start fucking swinging at that point, and at that point, I had backup too, so I like tried to swing on some kid because I had like beer ball or I had like Loki balls.
Right.
Fucking, finally, when I got up, I was probably embarrassed and angry too. And I hit some kid really poorly. I think I like slapped him with my knuckles in the back of his head or something.
Isn't it so unsatisfying when you go to hit someone and like that it's just the weakest shit you ever fucking threw and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, I don't even know. I just didn't connect it, and I threw a cheap shot.
Right.
Like it wasn't even a fucking. It was a coward's punch. I think I hit him in the back of the head from behind.
Right.
Like he was talking shit to you, and I came up and clocked him from behind like a punk. Just to avenge myself or not get my balls busted by you later. And then I think I did get hit or I did get knocked down and it broke up.
Speaking of busting balls for leaving a fight, I've talked about this before about
you're going to go
Doug. Doug Evil just leaving.
And yeah, I knew that's where you're going with this.
And you mostly busted his balls like I think
never let him in. I never let it in.
Who came up with the whole?
It was me.
If
we were in, it was all me, dude. I wouldn't let him live with it. Me, you, and Michael were the only ones who fucking
hung around. Yeah, not that it was smart to hang around, but
it wasn't smart to hang around. Right. But fucking, if you were gonna get shot, and Michael was gonna get shot, I was gonna get shot with you guys. Right. Like what the fuck was I gonna do if you two got shot anyway? Right. Get called a bitch by whoever fucking was smart enough to call me a bitch for running away because you two would be dead, or let one of you get shot and hear for the rest of my life that I was a bitch from the surviving one. No way.
So
I was truly ready to get shot that day.
So we left off with kind of TB where I left off with you was when Mr. Monster and Blitzkid were getting together finally. And you guys did those runs. Do you remember how that came about? Like what spurred that on to even do runs together? And can you describe your touring situation? How you went out on the road for those?
A lot of the amount of runs that we did, like Tracy's like named the name of a tour that we did. I didn't even fucking know had a name. We would go out on such short stints back and forth, like where we would go to Blitzkid and station out of Blitzkid's area, or they would come to us. And if they had names, I only remember the one that was kind of significant. It was the Ghost of the East Coast tour, but I didn't know any of
Who
the
was
other
in
ones
the
had
band
names.
for that?
Most of it's by the time Blitzkid was around. It was just the first time we ever played with Blitzkid was my first show on guitar and Germs' first show ever. It was the first show with you not in the band.
Who played
Was
bass?
the day we
I
met
mean, who played
Blitzkid.
drums rather?
Jimmy Skins at that show.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, the first was when we first met Blitzkid, it was Jimmy Skins. How we met them that day is, I guess, I believe me and Tracy had become had just started speaking on whatever was it, Instant Messenger. I don't know what the fuck it was then. Or Tracy would write me emails, and fucking I maybe Jason as well. But at least me and Tracy kind of became buddies or pen pals, and then we finally knew we were going to be I didn't know who Tracy was. I never saw a picture of him, nothing.
Right.
I just thought he was like some, I was 16 fucking years old, bro. I thought he was some fucking, what kind of nerd likes your band when you're 16 years old? And thought we were rad and was going to write us an email. So I fucking,
Right.
was not expecting Tracy to be A, older than me. B, I just wasn't expecting him to be Tracy. I was expecting him to be some kid. And I hadn't heard Blitzkid yet, I don't believe anyway. And I remember being shocked not shocked, but I mean, I remember Tracy not being anything like I had imagined him being. You know what I'm saying? When I actually met him in person, I was totally taken. I had no idea that was the dude I was talking to online from
Right.
Blitzkid. No clue. I believe that was the case, that we just talked online. And I remember Tracy coming up to our merch table. And dude, it's, what I noticed the other day? I found footage from that show, and for years I wouldn't watch it because it's just, I don't know. I don't want to watch myself suck. And it was, I wasn't good. We weren't good.
Right.
It was the first show of a transition in the band, and we're lucky we got as far through it as we did. Looking back, to me, it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed of my performance on that show. And through the years, I always made sure fucking it never got around. I probably have one of the only tapes of it. You're not really missing too much.
Right.
I did make some highlights of it. I will use one day for something or share with everyone one day. But one thing I noticed from watching those highlights is the first time we played with Blitzkid was no different. Was no different than any time we played with them afterwards. It was the same from day one when we didn't even know them. Dude, we played songs that night that I didn't fucking know we ever played live before, or I didn't even know I knew how to play a guitar.
Like what? What?
Dude, we did Bullet, Misfits Bullet.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember you guys even ever jamming that.
I've always known that song. It's always been an easy one in my repertoire.
Yeah, I'm just thinking back to
Mr.
even
Monster,
in the
but
basement days. I don't even remember let's fucking rehearse this.
I don't know why we did
it.
it, dude. I don't know why we did it. I know Mr. Monster did Devil's Warehouse. Was it Devil's Warehouse? No, what? Yeah, maybe it was Devil's Warehouse. Yeah, it was Devil. We would do Devil's Warehouse sometimes. We did Halloween 2 live once, which I've never found video footage. I have yet to find video footage of, but I know it exists. We did Halloween 2 at Connections on Halloween with Mike Hideous singing guest vocals, and Jason and Mike Hideous traded the vocals, and they did it in fucking Latin, straight perfect Latin and everything.
Nice.
It's really fucking cool. I didn't remember that we played as many Misfit songs, ever. At the first Mr. Monster show, of the songs I played at the first Mr. Monster show, we played Halloween there too. So, really surprised in retrospect that we played that many Misfit songs through the years. It's a lot more than I would have thought. But anyway, the point of what I'm saying is we played Bullet and another Misfit song. I don't think it was Devil's Warehouse. We did play 2 Misfits songs though. And dude, I could line this same fucking like happening up with any other time we ever played with Blitzkid. But Tracy just had the nerve to fucking storm our stage, not knowing us fucking for more than 10 minutes, run up, grab the mic fucking enthusiastically and start singing. And right behind him was an awkward young Goolsby fucking jamming, you know? And the two of them at our first show, and Jimmy Psycho from Psycho Charger too. He jumped up with us too. Like it wasn't planned. They just all stormed our stage.
Right.
I mean, bro, I don't think there was another fucking Mr. Monster Blitzkid event from that day where those two didn't storm the stage in the same fashion. It really never changed.
Psycho Charger, the band that wore like saran wrap underwear.
Yeah,
okay.
So they did all sorts of crazy shit, dude. They were awesome, man. They still play too, which is fucking awesome, man. And Jimmy was a really good dude. I don't know or remember the other dudes, unfortunately. I think there was another staple member, but it's awesome. I see them. They're kind of out. They're definitely out of our circuit. They are definitely like more in the rockabilly scene. They do all right for themselves, from what I understand too. They're doing stuff, man. They've kept doing stuff.
Yeah, still.
You know, they just yes. I'm pretty sure they're still active. The last time I heard they were active. Cool fucking band, man. Nice dudes. They would play in fucking pizza boxes and fucking saran wrap. Fucking otherwise naked.
Right.
So yeah, I guess we met them at that first Schools Night Out, and man, I don't remember if it was right away with them. Oh, I remember. I guess I got into the record. It was definitely, I would say, Let Flowers Die then. Remember, liked it, listening to it. I feel the same story for them and Crypt Keeper. It's exactly the same story.
Right.
Is where they gave me their demo. I listened to it. Jason didn't. And I probably oversold it to Jason.
Right.
Like I was like, yo, that band's really good, bro. Like I listened to like that shit. You gotta listen to this shit, man. It's really good.
That was gonna lead me to my next set of questions is, and I want you to be honest with me because I know how we are.
Yeah.
Jason included.
I'm still like that to this day.
Jason included is that
if you
we're
oversell
very
something,
fucking
you don't like
musically competitive. Where like sometimes we don't want to give a band some props a little bit just because we're fucking doing the same thing. And back then, especially back then, we didn't even fucking know of any other fucking bands, especially one from Virginia, fucking playing the same style or doing whatever. It was kind of just like news to us. So Jason was specifically competitive. And I am too. So I just want to know if that was like ever something that was like,
I don't know. Cool. To be really honest with you, and to be honest with you, I'm gonna sound like a dick, but I never felt competitive with anyone in those days.
That's bullshit, man. Especially when we're in
I'll tell you why.
Fuck.
Oh, in Darrow?
Oh, yeah.
No, what do you mean? Well, competitive as to what? As to other bands?
Oh,
or
yeah.
as to... Yeah?
Yeah.
Competitive. In which way?
In the way that you always wanted to outperform, in the way... Just a lot of stuff.
Fuck yeah, brother. That's your job.
That's fucking competitive. It's competition. Let's fucking blow these guys out of the water. Let's
show
them who's boss. Let's fucking do stuff.
How often did we play with a band who wasn't our friends or we didn't respect already?
Yeah, I mean, we did tour fucking 3 times across the country, so there was a few times.
Well, most often, dude, almost every time it was with a band we already played with, knew, or that put us on that bill, or was hooking us up or supporting us. It was all friends of ours, man. I don't know.
You're not giving yourself as much as competitive as you used to. That's for fucking sure.
Well, no, listen. I mean, I guess I get what you're saying a little bit. I don't like the word competitive for it. I mean, of course you want to. I'm serious. Of course you want to be as good as you can be, man. Of course you want to be the best. I want to be the best at everything I do. That doesn't competitive. When you say competitive to me, that means that I'll do anything to win, or I'll do anything to be better.
Yeah, right.
And I don't feel that we ever fucking, cut anyone else's legs to make ourselves better.
Right.
I remember, I could tell you a lot I could tell you every time we got our asses handed to us in Darrow. It wasn't too often.
Right.
But when it did happen, I fucking remember them. I'll tell you that much.
Probably a
I was
couple of
competitive
times.
when we got. I was competitive when we got
Probably a
like
couple
when
of
the
times
band
with
was.
Den Wasted. I can remember a couple of times.
Well,
where
we were handicapped. That don't care. That don't count.
Yeah.
Dead Wasted's a better band than most bands, man.
Right.
Fucking, we were fucking early on. I would have told you Dead Wasted was better than us then too.
But there were some nights where they couldn't control themselves, and we were much
We
better
didn't
than
have
them.
Yeah, that's true as well. We didn't even have an actual drummer.
Right.
Our drummer was their guitar player.
Yeah.
Who learned the songs the day before the tour. I don't consider any show of that tour a relevant example of that band.
Right.
All due respect to fucking Chris. You know, like the only video I watched from that tour is the video of us playing Seattle.
Is there
Do you remember
just
the-
a song?
Yeah, I think it's like us doing Hey Girl.
Right. Mama Heaven
Seattle.
says hello, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
she's
up,
here.
Mom Sin? Hello. We're just talking about your boy. Loki called him competitive. He was a little competitive.
He was very competitive.
Jason was very competitive. Fucking, it was healthy. Again, it's not like he
I'm not
ever like.
I'm not giving it a negative connotation. You have maybe a negative
I do have a
connotation
negative
of
connotation
what
for
competition
competitive.
is. I think it's
Yeah,
healthy. I think
I don't
it's
like that.
fucking
No, that's what I said before. Of course, I want to be the best at what I do.
Right.
You know, I'm going to try really hard. I want to have a great reaction. You know, to anything I do, of course. But when you say competitive, there is a negative connotation. Competitive, at least to me, like competitive. I don't know. It sounds desperate or dirty
Sounds
or
desperate.
something you cheat to
no.
cheat to
that's,
it.
that's
That you'll
cheating.
stop at nothing to get. You know, like
that's cheating. Competition is the root of all sport. It's what. It's all right. I'm gonna fucking give it my best against
You're
your
right.
best, and we're gonna see who wins. That's competition. Point blank. Cheating
I
is
guess I'm
something else.
competitive.
Yeah, cheating is you're just a dirty motherfucker.
I don't know, man. The bands that we played with were usually our friends, and like, a specific. I mean, I was talking Mr. Monster because I thought that's what you were saying.
Right.
But in Darrow, things were certainly different. But in Darrow, more often than not, we were an oddball on the bill. You know, like we more often than not played with horror punk bands,
Right.
or bands that had a visual aesthetic, or.
Can I give an example?
Of
It's-
what?
it's- it's
You
one
can
of our-
do whatever you want. It's your show, bro.
Right. I just don't want to. Whatever. He's my friend too. I don't give a fuck. But when Silent Horror was going to play Ghouls Night Out, for example, we were damn sure competitive, and we're prepared to fucking made sure that
How about North Carolina one?
that we stood out and that we would fucking rock that stage because we knew that it was their first show. They were gonna bring it. We wanted to fucking
Bro,
and that was
all I
coming from
remember-
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had fucking known that they were gonna bring the full Monty, bro.
Right.
You know, and we
But
were
that's
the
all I
headliner
mean
on the
by
bill.
competitive. It's not like I was gonna fucking take his guitar strings and fucking cut them to make sure he doesn't play.
I
right.
didn't, that's not what I get either. But I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like, but those were our friends, dude.
Right.
You know, we
But
were
it's-
excited to see them play just
You
as well.
compete with your friends all the time. There's nothing wrong with it.
I think I think I agree with you. I just don't like the word competitive.
Right.
I just would never
We'll
have
call
called
it
it
something
that.
else. We'll figure out another word for it.
Because you know, like I don't know, man. In that scene, I've never in Darrow. I don't know what business I understand why the horror punk audience embraced us and accepted us as we were, and I understand why we participated in
Right.
it. You know, they're our friends. They're good people. They were, you know, like why wouldn't we work with good people who we have good rapport with, and they're our friends, you know, who are like-minded and into the same things. But at the same time, there was nothing, you know, or I mean, there's nothing any more horror punk about Darrow than there is about I don't fucking know.
I feel like that way for a lot of the bands that we are friends with. I mean, Blitzkid included. Like they've kind of strayed away. They are, but they strayed away with it within their style
This
of
kid's a horror
music.
punk band, dude.
Fucking Nimvin, like he gets rooted in with all the horror.
Blitzkid-
He's not. They're not horror punk. They're just our friends, and like everyone kind of they're part of the
Yes.
community. But
I
their
agree with you.
band is
Nimvin is
not.
one of those bands.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. How can you compete? Like, if you get a bill that's like Crypt Keeper Niven, Darrow, and Goolsby.
Right.
How could any of those bands compete with one another? There's no competing. And each one of those bands has like a totally different thing that the other doesn't have. You know, like fuck, the Crypt Keeper 5 are better than every band I've ever been put in together. You know, like I could only dream of being in a band as good as the Crypt Keeper 5. But motherfucker, the Crypt Keeper 5 can't do what the fuck we do.
Right.
You know, they're still fucking better than us. You know, but you know what we do, they can't do, and what they do, we. You know, I always say, man, your ace in your sleeve is that you're you.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you can say it of a band too. You know, like I don't think that there was any band in that scene that was so similar to us that you know, there was nothing I'm not saying that we're so unique, but we all had our own identity, or at least the bands we always played with, pretty much.
Right. Now,
had enough of their own. You know, how could you compete with Crypt Keeper 5 or Goolsby? You know, I'm never gonna bring to the stage what Goolsby brings to the stage. You know, and Goolsby's never gonna bring what I do. And you know, I'm never gonna sing like Johnny Ott. You know, like, and
right.
Johnny Ott's never gonna sing as bad as me. You know, like, and fucking, you know, like, I'm never gonna write as good lyrics as Nimbin, or as fucking, you know, like.
He just talks about aliens, dude. That's fine.
Or have the appeal that Nimbin has, or the sensibilities and reach that Nimbin has. You know, like, so I don't know, all those bands, I don't see a competition. I see that it's awesome because we have fucking bands that are like-minded, that are friends with each other, that share fans and sound nothing fucking like.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't. I'll tell you the band that I just, like, before we get any further, I'll tell you do you remember when we played the Memphis Punk Rock Fest?
Yes.
With Dara?
Yes.
That is one.
There was an incident with Dean, correct?
Oh no, I don't. If there was, I don't remember.
We wouldn't play Nowhere to Run, and I think he got mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever the case, I remember playing it. I don't remember the other bands that were there. That's for sure.
Oh, I do. That's the point. That's the part I'll never forget. Is for whatever reason, we were not a local band at all. We're from fucking New Jersey. And we got there and we were billed like second to last on the bill.
Right.
To our surprise. And you know, I didn't watch every fucking band there, but man, we played really well. You know, like, we played really well. I was stoked with how we played. And the band that went on after us, I was excited to see. I wasn't that familiar with. I'd never seen live.
Right.
They closed the show, and that was that band Pears.
Say the name again.
Pears, Pears,
okay.
Pears. That band, made us look like, no matter how hard we brought it, man, they brought it so fucking hard, dude. They were so good. And like that, and our shows had a lot of energy, and we got a good reaction that night,
right.
and we were well received. But like, dude, that band fucking made us look like a bunch of fucking amateurs, dude. Like, I don't remember ever getting sat down by a band like that before, ever. You know, like, ever. Like, right? I mean, Dara did the Warped Tour and everything, but you know, I don't. We played with the stage we played on as a local band, so I don't even fucking, you know.
All I remember from that day is that it was really fucking hot out.
I remember that we played during one of the most popular bands on the Bills set time, like across from us, like 2 football fields away.
Who was playing?
I think the band was called the Wonder Years.
Okay.
And they were like a hot draw. They played at the same time we took the stage. And dude, we did a lot of work for the Warped Tour, and it was a great success. It's something I'll always be proud of that we did that, man. I mean, we got to play a fucking arena, and no less the arena in our fucking area. You know, like, that's where I've seen every Ozfest, every Mayhem Fest, or every major show I've ever been to since I was a kid, man. I remember all the time, like, some friend turned into me while we'd be at like Ozfest or something, be like, man, one day you're gonna play here, bro. And not one time did I entertain that friend. Like, no, not. Nah. So that was a pride point. But however, I was so proud of the band.
What
That
was
day, like,
what got us to Warped Tour? It was some fucking contest.
it was a contest.
What
That I
contest?
fucking. It was the Ernie Ball's Battle for Warped Tour.
Right.
We had done it the previous year with Doomsday, and I just realized it was fucking easy. You know, I was just like, I didn't even try with Doomsday too much because it's just, we didn't even do things like that.
Right.
It was kind of, you know, it was kind of lame. But like by the end of the contest, I was like, you know, if I fucking tried, we could probably do some damage on this fucking thing. You know, like where if we had better you know.
Right. Our social presence
Yeah,
is pretty good for that.
Yeah. I don't know if Doomsday could have done it. But, and I mean, I didn't think, I don't know. We had to be in it to win it, man.
Yeah.
And it just was fucking easy. I think I pretty much, I mean, not to take anything away from you, you're doing a million other things that I couldn't do. But I think I did it mostly myself.
Yeah.
You know, like with our fans, of course, you know, clearly we couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done it alone. That was kind of my own mission, and I was surprised.
I had a pretty good presence too, like the time I won the Metallica tickets. So let's not discount my presence over.
Oh, I'm not talking. That's totally different. That's totally different. But dude, I was very proud of us that day.
Right.
We that show, if you remember, we had done our Kickstarter and wrote, produced, pre-produced, recorded, put covers on, fucking mixed, mastered, and released a demo, bought a van, and did a whole new line of merch and everything to go with it.
Yep.
And then we won the Warped Tour. Like, I guess the album, we had a tour booked, and the album, like, the tour was to start, and we had a release show and everything for like, I don't know, like, I want to say it was July 20th for some reason. I don't know. Let's just go with that. I think we were supposed to release Plastic Smile on like, it's June 20th. Like, let's say we wound up releasing the record not only on time, but about a week and a half earlier than it was supposed to come out. And I remember it cost us to do it, and it wasn't worth it in the end. It would be stupid to have not if it went other ways. But not only had we accomplished all of our goals, but we were able to accomplish our goals a week ahead of time, and then whip together visual presentation. Because, bro, we didn't know how that show was going to go. How did we know a fucking zillion people weren't going to see us that day?
Yeah.
Was not the case. It's actually really fucking sad. I've never shared the video of that. I have the whole show on tape. I've never shared it. I've never even shown a picture of that on social media. It just,
it was a weird the whole thing was weird. We got dry. Our voice was dry. There was a whole bunch of shit happening. It was way too fucking.
Your voice was dry.
Yeah.
My voice was fine. No, I was actually pretty bad. I wasn't the worst of us.
Yeah.
But there were like 15 people standing in front of us at the Warped Tour, and like it would like sparse out to like 10 at some points, and we like knew 3 of them. 2 of them were our girlfriends. One of them was Johnny Knollwood. But I'll never forget, like, at one point, probably about 6,000 people walked past us. There was like a big like resurgence of one stage to another. And like a whole bunch of people like just walked past us at one point. I don't know how many, you know, didn't hear a whole song or nothing. But what I was saying is that dude, our presentation at that show and how we got it together, it's fucking, you know, I'm so proud of all of us for it.
Yeah,
Dude,
we represented ourselves really fucking good.
Yes, we did. In the event that we were in a situation to be seen or well received, or had we had the opportunity to make an impression to somebody,
right?
We were prepared to do that and look well doing it. And we didn't look different than any other band on the Warped Tour, which was not something we were prepared for. Dude, we had a custom like tent and everything. We had like 9 shirts on the merch table. I'll never forget one thing that's funny about that is like we went gung ho about fucking postcards because it was stupid if we ever had an event like that
Right.
and we had an opportunity to promote. Well, fuck, we should take advantage of that, man. We had a record coming out that month, and
Shout out to Riot Stickers, riotstickers.com, everybody. Go ahead.
absolutely, Riot Stickers did our stickers and our postcards.
Yep.
Fucking Sharpie, Josh. Dude, we had a custom fucking tent, bro. Like, fuck, seriously, bro, we had a fucking customized like overhead tent. We were chilling. Well, whatever point. We had made like I think like 4,000 or 5,000 postcards, and like we had a whole bunch of stickers and all this other stuff. And we were like, yo, we're good. And I'll never forget that like me, you, and Mikey went out to go hand out flyers in the crowd, and we had gone through about 5,000. We had gone through boxes and boxes and boxes in like 25 minutes. Like we didn't even remotely make a dent. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, I remember like people walking in. We were there early and just handing out to the line coming in.
There was so much pressure and so much stress going into that. Like I said, it was the first show. That was the first show of the Plastic Smiler.
Right.
It was arguably the first time we played some of those songs live to nobody. We busted a lot of hump, and there was a long fucking road to that moment. And I remember that we got into a fight. We're like, dude, I like Doug, our guitar player at the time, Doug. His girlfriend Jill, nice girl. Fucking, we couldn't have done a lot of the things we did without her. She was fucking hugely helpful. Her and my girlfriend at the time, Sam, were doing merch for us at that show. And like, I guess the two of them had gotten into an argument right before we went on.
Right.
About like that one had to watch the merch table and one was gonna fucking
Right.
Be able to watch the show. And my girlfriend at the time came up to me fucking in tears, like minute before we go on stage, and I fucking yelled at Doug's girlfriend, like an asshole, you know, like I, you know me, I don't fucking yell like that. Fuck, I screamed at those two girls like fucking like, are you really gonna pull this on us? You can't figure out. We figured all this out. You can't figure out who's gonna go on stage. I mean, like, which one of you can't work it out. I gotta fucking yell at you, and I walk on stage pissed.
Dang.
I blew my voice out screaming beforehand. Do you remember being pissed after we played too?
Not specifically. I really don't remember much of that show. I
don't
tend to
think that
block
it's,
out anything that I don't like.
Oh, me too. I'm fucking dude. I'm remarkable at it. I'm better at blocking out bad things in my life, like legitimately forgetting them, than I am at most anything.
Right.
It's amazing. It always astonishes me. I cannot forget that day though.
So I was mad.
I don't
or,
even
or
know.
or the proverbial us.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Was I specifically mad, or you're talking about us? Like everyone was just kind of mad.
If you were mad, we would have known. We had a good time. It was a lot of pressure and a lot of stress.
Right.
And it was a little bit of a bummer that it wasn't that no one was in front of us when we played. You know, you really didn't expect to play an arena or fucking, you know, to a nearly sold out show with who knows how many fucking thousand people, enough to get rid of fucking all our 5,000 postcards in a couple minutes.
Remember
So it
that
was a
time
bummer.
we did play in an arena to like 200 people? But it was a
Talk about-
14,000 seat arena and 200 people look like 10.
You talking about Milwaukee Metal Fest?
Gotham Road, yeah.
Yeah, I can never forget
That was probably
either.
worse than anything.
Dude, that's one of those block it out moments that
That was probably worse.
I've yet to achieve that one.
That's probably the worst show I've ever been a part of, ever.
I weren't you and that came up on like I think like you and Paulie did a podcast
Right.
with Michael recently, and you guys talked about that show.
Yeah.
I was talking about that show last night actually. We played with Body Count that day.
Yeah.
And I was struggling to remember if we even saw Body Count that night.
I did not stick around for anything else.
That's what I'm saying. I think we left
I got
immediately
the
after we
fuck
played.
out. Yeah.
Pretty sure that we packed
Strapping
our
and
shit.
Lad also played like later that like they were like part of the headlining bill.
When you look back at the bill of that show, to be completely honest with you, I wish I would have been
there as a fan.
more paying attention or more. I just wasn't listening to like a lot of metal at that point.
Right.
Bro, we played with so many bands that night that I now love and had no idea who they were then. We played with the Black Dahlia Murder that night.
Yep.
I had no idea who that band was. It was like either at Unhallowed era or I knew about them when Unhallowed was their only record, so it was probably beginning of that or pre-Unhallowed. I don't know, man. It was early.
Yeah.
I don't know what year they started, but that was 2003. We played with Suffocation. I knew them. We played with The Locust. That's the band that played right before us. Not one of my favorite bands, but they're excellent. I'm familiar with them. We played with Body Count. We played with Cattle Decapitation, I believe, was on that show.
I have there's a picture of the lineup.
Yeah, I got it. It's crazy, and it took years for it to ever be impressive to us.
Yeah.
And if you remember going into it, we were all like, "What the fuck are we playing Milwaukee Metal Fest for? They're gonna hate us." You know, like we weren't all so stoked about it. We walked in and we saw like the setup and everything like that, and we kind of knew. You know, none of us were that. We weren't excited.
Yeah, and I couldn't believe like that's the emptiest I've ever seen an arena for anything. Like even when they're setting up before a basketball game, like there's
that was like a basketball arena.
There's more people setting up for a basketball game than there were in that fucking arena.
I believe when we played, there was a band playing one of the like on the second or third stages. Right. That was like someone popular again. I don't remember the audience being that poor, and I think that it filtered in and out, or maybe it was weak at first and it got better. But I wish that there were less people. I'll tell you that much. I've only recently, like, I think listening to you and Paulie did I really put together what happened that night. We all had technical difficulties. The sound was terrible.
Yeah.
I threw my bass on the ground that night. I think twice. It's like strings down, not on purpose. Like my strap broke. Like midway through a poor show on a rig that I didn't get to have any sound check on, nothing. I like you like went up, it was all backline. We just like plugged in maybe a minute to get a tone, if that.
And that fucking emptiness of like me hitting an
E. The echoes of the snare drum hitting off the back wall, big bogged. It was a disaster.
Just fucking hitting that fucking one, that first E, just to give a good check, and just that.
Yeah, it sounded thin,
empty, thin, hollow. Whatever fucking word for weak that you can find is what I was feeling up there. I could hear myself walk on the fucking stage.
Yeah, we had never played a show in that environment before, any of us. I mean, like, and I don't think that even today that we could have prepared for it any better. You know.
No,
dude. We've
Wasn't
been in
that
that
the
situation.
First show of that tour? Like we met with fucking Marty.
No, it was like the first week. Of
no, yeah, that we played Chicago first, but we met up with
Marty.
It was
early,
but it was definitely early. It was definitely the first week for sure.
Yeah, it's probably of the first dozen shows we ever played as Got the Road. I don't know. We were like I think we were stoked for like a second because we knew what the Milwaukee Metal Fest was.
Right.
And like me and you were like stoked because Metal Fest, cool. We're playing a fest. Cool.
Right.
But our idea of that, I'm sure in our minds was way different, even pulling up to the place than it was when we walked inside.
Yeah.
Do you remember the pictures of Michael and Doug Evil sleeping on the arena floor in the hallways?
Yeah.
Successfully sleeping, might I add. Fucking, but it didn't matter. We like, there were reviews of us at that show. We were reviewed as the worst band in America.
I've tried to look for that, and I have not found that exact one. I've seen others that.
Yeah, I sent those to you that night.
Yeah.
I looked really hard as well to find any reviews of us from that night, and I think like I found a decent one.
Right.
And like
that guy shredded us pretty hard, but I do remember seeing.
There's something redeemable about it too.
Yeah. Of being the worst band in America, and I wish I would find that one.
I don't remember if we were shown that, we were told that, or like I don't remember the source of that information either.
Right.
But I remembered believing it, like it wasn't questioned.
Yeah.
That was a fact. Not just because we were beating ourselves up either. Like I don't know, maybe someone did show it to us in print.
Right.
I don't remember, but I remember that as a fact. Obviously it wasn't a clipping that we kept. I don't know if we even had one or if someone showed it to us at a merch
I
table.
would have kept it.
I would have
I
kept it
would
too.
have
You're right.
kept it.
You know what? If I had it, I would have it still because I have
You have everything.
Everything. I have everything, especially of those, like, especially of that period. Around like 2000, I stopped collecting everything hardcore probably like as of coming back to Graves, and I'll tell you why. In like what was it, 2014, when me and you started playing Michael again?
Yeah, I think so.
I think I made it like 2 weeks of doing my usual collecting of everything from every show.
Right.
And it wasn't interesting anymore. And I'll tell you why. Because all the flyers for every fucking show we played sucked. It was like the same fucking flyer every night, and they just got worse all the time. It was awful. We would have the same flyer 6 times a show, or 6 times a tour. It wasn't even like I didn't even want them anymore. Like they would just get worse and worse.
And I started streamlining those fuckers anyway. Like there were very few local ones. I would send out the ad mat, so it was just the same poster over and over again at some point.
Yeah, the Morning Light tour was kind of like that.
Yeah,
for sure. But even on those tours, I still kept everything. I have 100 of the same exact flyer with a different date on it.
Yeah, literally, guys. Like he moved recently, and like I brought Dean over to help him out, and he's going over through like some of the shit to hand me some stuff because he's just got so much of it, and like some of it pertains to me when I was with Mr. Monster or Angelson, whoever, and he's got literally 2, 3, or 4 of everything. Everything.
You don't even know, dude. I wish I had the time. I hope that one day I get the time around all that stuff to sit down and actually show it all to you. Because if you ever get to see it, it would be incredible. Because it's finally basically in one place. The Gotham Road stuff's pretty organized. Because like as we were doing that, I kept the scrapbook. It's the only band I ever kept a scrapbook of. But like I have a book. Like literally like a book, like a big art book with like everything, every news clipping, every review, every fucking everything, dude. Everything that you could put, if you could put it in a scrapbook, I had it. And then of course I have all our merch and shit like that. 1s and 2s of everything. I tried to keep everything, man. I did my best. I did my best to Mr. Monster to do it. And that was more important because Jason wasn't as archivy as me, and he very much eventually relied on me to do it. Like he didn't do it because he knew I did, and I got enough of everything for both of us. That just I'll tell you where I got it from, to be completely honest with you. One of my first fascinations with the Misfits came from it's not my first, but one of the big impressive firsts of the Misfits aside from their music was reading the box set Forward by Eerie Von.
Right.
And just like being like, how did this guy know? How did this guy know that this band that anyone from New Jersey would tell you is the band that only plays on Halloween had very little respect and very few people cared about for the first couple of years of their existence? Like, was important enough to document at that level. And I just I'm like, what? How the fuck did he know? Everyone thinks that their experience, their life, their friend's band, is important, I suppose. But Eerie Von did a lot of work fucking archiving all. I just thought it was so cool, dude. I always wanted to I wanted to one day write something about any band that was like a forward, like a matter of fact history of a telling of
right.
I just thought that was so cool. I've done it a couple times. I've written some forwards. Pretty proud of it. Bucket list for sure. But yeah, man, that was an eerie thing. Like just being an archiver, just having a history of it all. I didn't know that any of it would be important. It was like I said, it was an eerie thing. It was the off chance that it became important, and how would otherwise I would regret not keeping everything because, and none of you guys were like that at all, dude.
No, no,
No one else at
especially
Got the
not
Road
me.
is a collector. Yeah, none of you were collectors of anything. Do you collect anything? Does Michael collect anything? Paulie, little more.
Yeah, Paulie a little more. Let's see. I don't
That
know.
came later though too.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not much of a collector of anything.
Paulie, in the last 10 years or 15 years is not then so much.
But even him, he's giving you his stuff, right? You got
Paulie?
yeah, you got like his either a kick drum or a cymbal or something like you. Something
I
from
didn't get
Paulie.
that from Paulie.
No.
I didn't get that from Paulie. No, it's weird. I have Gotham Road's kick drum, yeah, and it did not come from Paul. I did a friend a favor helping him sell some merchandise,
Damn.
like just like the other band collectibles, Misfit
Right.
stuff, and he just asked me to help him move some stuff, and all the stuff that he was moving, he had a lot of our own stuff, man, and he was telling me like, yo, if you help me do this, anything you want, I'll give you a really good deal on a road, I'll hook you up or whatever. So I gave him a list of what I wanted, and I guess I helped him move a bunch of shit, and he gave me a bunch of our own shit back for fucking some of it near nothing.
Right.
And yeah, dude, I got some other crazy shit from that. In the same like day, I got the Gotham Road kick drum, which is signed to so and so. I know his name. I'm not gonna out him.
Right.
To so and so from Paulie Lifeless, whatever.
Damn.
So it's like signed right on the front too, like to someone else. But really rad too. From that same batch of shit, man, I got the snare drum head that was used on Anatomy of Reanimation, the Blitzkrieg
Okay.
record. It's pretty cool. It's just like a snare drum head. It's got like fake blood spattered at it, and it's like written on the back. I think it's Paulie's handwriting. It says like the record didn't have a name. It's like used to record Blitzkrieg record, untitled Blitzkrieg record, like and the date. And Reanimation. I got a couple of Blitzkrieg symbols that way.
Gary's
Ghouls'
saying
painted symbols.
he's actually saying right now that you have a Ghouls painted symbol, a Blitzkid symbol.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
a couple of them. I don't know. Once you have a couple of something, it's weird how they find you. Like I don't think I ever got one of them from Goolsby once. Not one single time.
I can't
The last
imagine
tour-
being a collector like that because I already got too much shit, and I moved out of a house, and you could not believe how much shit there was in that house that I moved out of. So
That
I
wasn't
couldn't
shit.
imagine that if
You
I was,
didn't have nothing.
dude, it was. You have no idea. It's fucking your whole life of stuff, right?
Your family lived there forever.
But if I collected things like that, forget it. I'd be a
Especially
hoarder.
you had more money than me, so fucking a lot of times. So like, I can imagine you're certainly an extremist. So fucking yes, if you'd been a collector, you would probably be an excellent collector. You'd be devastated. I tell you had more fucking PlayStation games than fucking any other motherfucker I knew. You might not call that a collection, but fucking you go to Loki's house like fucking 15 years ago, bro, and he would have like 25 PlayStation games that weren't even fucking opened.
Right.
He probably still has
That's when
games.
I was
that
working
are
at Sony, so a lot of them were, I was
fucking-
getting that 5-finger discount.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that then. Truth
I was-
comes out.
I was borrowing.
Yep. Borrowing. Good use of
I
term.
was borrowing.
Good use of term. Yo, you know what I still have? Speaking of borrowing, I have. If anyone wants to buy this or see pictures of it, hit me up. I've been trying to get rid of it for fucking years. Not for. I just don't have a use for it. I have about 7-foot coffin. Gifted to me years ago, or gifted to Mr. Monster. Strangely enough, it has like a Crimson Ghosts painted on the sides of it, and like green Misfits logos down the side, and it's on wheels. It's fucking huge. Like you can stand. Like I'm 6 feet tall. I could stand in it, no
What was
problem,
that
guys.
dude's name that gave it to us?
The fucking I do know his name. I have his fucking phone number somewhere. Eric. His name is Eric. Good dude. He just worked at the grocery store across the street,
Right.
and he just loved us. And fucking, we would come in there, and he just got a kick out of our crew. And he liked the Misfits. He knew we liked the Misfits, and I guess he was like a carpenter by trade. And he would always be like, "Oh, I make coffins. I make coffins. I'm gonna make you guys a coffin." We're like, "All right, cool, dude." And that went on for fucking about a year until one day in the middle of the day, this guy who worked my crew knocked on our door, came up, and had a fucking 7-foot
He
coffin.
actually brings over a fucking coffin.
And
Yeah.
here's the odd part too: is like it's like a 7-foot. I've always said I was gonna try to make it into like shelving, which would be easy enough. It's just so bizarre.
Yeah.
It's a 7-foot coffin. It's all red lined and shit like velvet. And it's got wheels on it, which is kind of strange. It stands upright. But the front of it has like a door.
Right.
Right? It opens up, and the very front of it has the glass that would be like in the front door of your house. Like a not see-through, but kind of, it looks like exactly what a glass window would look like in the front door of a home. And I never understood why that was like that. It doesn't look bad. I don't know if I would have made it that way, but
And it's like
I never understood what to do with it
too,
either.
right? So like you really can't even get a person in there because it's fucking.
Oh no, you absolutely could. That's incorrect.
Just
you
not a
could
fat,
absolutely
just not a
fucking-
really fat one.
I don't know if you would. Yeah, you could. It's fucking wide as fuck. You'd have to be pretty fat not to fit in there. You could fit in there, dude. You'd have to be pretty tall and pretty fat not to fit. Now, I don't
I
know
just
if you could
remember it not
fucking.
being like. I don't know. I thought the depth of it wasn't that deep.
No, you'd be surprised, man. You can close the door with yourself in it.
Yeah.
I wasn't too thin back then. So I could close it, or most of us could. I don't think anyone couldn't. I don't know if you could turn it sideways and carry a motherfucker in it. You know, like
right.
you would just stand in it and close the door because that's just how it was. I wouldn't trust the dexterity. Not that it was thin, but I don't know if I trust the dexterity of the back of it to fucking pick it up and carry a motherfucker. I wouldn't be surprised at all if someone dumped through the middle.
We had a
Especially
good
while those fat
relationship with
motherfuckers
those
are
guys over at the what was it, an A&P?
Yeah, we're talking to each other, not like anyone's listening. Like we know what we're talking about,
Right.
and like they're speaking cavalierly of it. But the house I grew up at, and Loki lived with me, and everything else, affectionately referred to as the West House.
This is a story, by the way, that I don't tell most people because it's also
It's
a
bad.
large bullshit
It's illegal
story.
too.
It's illegal, but I mean,
Oh, bullshit in the way no one will believe it.
yeah,
Even when we tell it, no one believes the extent of it.
Yeah.
No one, like I don't believe that anyone has ever wholeheartedly
fully
believed the
believe
extent
this.
of it.
Yeah,
And I don't know, I guess. But we were broke as fuck. And we lived, like, my mom moved out of my house and she was sick. So we didn't have no fucking money. We had a lawsuit pending on our house, justly so. No income, and everything in the house eventually fell apart because me and Loki were like on the road with bands all the time. Fucking,
right.
this is where we lived, and we weren't kicked out of it yet. We didn't have no money to pay no fucking bills. We
Dude,
didn't need no fucking
It was
cable.
rough. There were times, dude, where
Eventually,
we had no
everything
fucking,
went off in that house.
Everything turned off. No hot water. No fucking electricity. We were
didn't have hot water for
squatting in that
years.
fucking house.
And no one ever believed us then either, if you remember.
Yeah.
Like we would like call my mom and be like, yo, we have no hot water, no electricity, no cable. They stopped picking up the garbage. Both your dogs need to be groomed. Fucking like it's just like, oh, just wait another week.
That's right. They
We all
stopped
know where that
picking
went.
up the garbage. Because in Washington Township, you have to pay like a fucking quarterly bill for them to pick up your trash. They just stopped coming, and none of us had a car except for Ed, maybe. But like
I don't
even
even
he wasn't around to fucking take out the fucking trash. So
Sorry, go on.
we were just throwing the fucking. We were like collecting our own trash in the fucking garage. So we were like just threw it out there until we would like take it somewhere.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually. I don't think we ever did, to be honest with you, dude. I think that it was in the driveway, piled up until probably someone or something said something. Maybe, we got yelled at for it by the town or something.
Right.
It's unheard of. And all right, I'm missing the fucking point. Is that Washington, the town I grew up in, is pretty hoity-toity, to be honest with you. It's a small town. not a whole lot in it. There's like one strip mall in the whole town, and it's got 90% of the businesses in the whole town,
Yeah.
maybe 95% of all anywhere you could spend $1 in the town. I happen to live across the street from it, which is awesome. If I lived somewhere else, I'd be a different motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because that parking lot molded so much more about me than I ever credit or realize. But I mean, like, that's all, you know, there's a big empty parking lot and a fucking grocery store, bagel store, pizza place, Chinese food place, video store, fucking, you know, just like any other fucking shopping plaza. But they're on our street, there were only like 3 or 4 houses other than ours, you know.
And the police station was right next door.
The police station was right next door. And my grandparents, I grew up in my grandparents' house, was like on the corner of that street. And then my mom got remarried at one point and we moved 2 houses down. So like I moved when I was 10 years old, I just moved 2 houses over. And I guess that ran its course. Whatever the point, what Loki was getting at, the story we were trying to tell is that like we were like 17, 18, 19 years old, probably 18, 19, 20 years old, Loki a little older. You could buy beer for all of us, but it didn't matter anyway.
It didn't matter because we went to that guy over there.
A, we had no money
Right.
to buy beer. B, fucking, we worked that out eventually.
Right.
But basically we had, just because of the way we looked and our house was unmissable, like every single motherfucker in the town, you couldn't miss us, dude. Like our house looked honky as hell in the middle. I don't know what honky means. I don't know why I said that. Wonky maybe.
Wonky.
Our house was hoopty at that
It
point.
looked like we lived in it. Also, you guys
Yes.
hung up a fucking 30-foot American flag in the front window. However fucking big
That's
that window
patriotic.
was. Right.
That's so people didn't see the fuck in while we were hitting the bong, dude.
Right.
So we were broke as fuck, and none of us had jobs. Most of us didn't have a car, but all of us, most of us didn't have licenses. And we had to survive, dude. So we did what we had to do to survive.
Right.
And it turned out there was a lot of resource just right across the street. And the store that was across the street at the time was 24/7. So, you know, after 12, there was nothing to do. And we were up all night, of course.
Yeah.
So we would always end up in A&P, and we didn't have any money. I don't even know what it was then. It might have been an A&P, it might have been a food town.
And like it was like so like it was just the night crew, and the night crew did not give a fuck about anything. They just wanted to stock the shelves and just do their job and go the fuck home when it was time to go home. Like they did not care that we were walking around there, and they certainly didn't want to fucking wait for us on the fucking thing. So
it was a pain in the ass when we showed up there to buy something, because the guy who would be the cashier would be like out in the registers. You'd have to like look for him to get to pay something.
Yeah.
So basically, we fucking lived across the street. We were loud as fuck looking. Nobody came in that store in the middle of the night. So in the middle of the night, no one gave a fuck. No one was watching anything. And a couple of us who lived in that house were ballsier than others and fucking would go in there at night to fucking steal shit we needed.
Right.
You know, like Germs are notorious for sticking 50 chicken nugget packs down his pants.
That
like
motherfucker would do it midday.
Yeah. I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that.
He would come home with like fucking 50 packs of chicken nuggets.
I can't. It's again, this is one of those stories that you don't tell because people just will never believe the extent of it, and they'll totally think we're full shit. But there's like 4 or 5 of us living at this fucking house. They can't even tell us apart because we all look and dress the same. You know, like, and these guys see us every night. We're probably the only people that come in. And most of the time, one at a time, different points of the night, they'd see all of us, and none of us have money, so we're usually stealing something.
Right.
You know, just one thing, fucking whatever. And like I said, it was like a pain in the ass to pay for something. They were like bothered when he asked them to go to the register and check you out.
Well, that big guy, Lance, remember him? Fucking...
Yeah, I was thinking about it just a second ago. You're absolutely right. It's funny, I remember his name as well.
I
could
fucking
see
walk his fucking 300-pound
it.
ass over the fucking register. He didn't want to do that.
He was the most responsible guy in there. Whatever the case. We eventually I guess we were being incognito, and we didn't become friends with those guys, and they all wanted to be buddy buddy with us,
Right.
but we were like not doing that because whatever, is we were trying to steal shit. We didn't
Right.
want to fucking our jig to be up. We usually had something down our pants, so we're gonna stop to talk to the guy. But eventually, I believe we got hip to. We would like see them in the parking lot smoking cigarettes. I'll never forget one of the guys opening his trunk, and like his whole trunk of like a Oldsmobile, like wide trunk too. His whole trunk was like the meat section. Like it was like the meat section of the store. He had like just steaks,
Right.
burgers, hot dogs, and they were just laughing out there. You know, like, and like I guess we got to be friends with the one guy who eventually like we started talking to, like the Misfits or whatever. We were cool with him. And once we were cool with him,
It was the rest.
the
of
other
it.
guys were cool with us.
Yeah.
And like, so they were stealing everything. The night crew was stealing everything too. And we were trying to, and they fucking, you know, of course they probably caught on that we weren't paying for shit sometimes, but they didn't give a fuck.
No. In fact, they
So
started
much
asking
so.
us. They started asking us, "Oh, you're coming over here to borrow?"
Borrow, yeah. Oh, you got the borrowers are here, you
Yeah.
know? They loved us because we stole shit from there. They just didn't give a shit. Because we were probably the only constant in their night. And they couldn't give less a fuck.
They would
Dude.
tell me how to walk out of the store without
Yeah.
being seen by a camera.
So basically, this ran its course, and me and Germs pretty much ruffled the feathers. You know, I'll time out 1 second. It got to such a point, like robbing this place, that I remember it was like Christmas, and Loki went Christmas shopping. Like, because they would have like the one aisle that would have like high price items. Like
Remember the
they have
fucking
like
remember
DVD
like
players and like TVs and shit.
yeah,
The 2-in-1.
And Loki had the balls to fucking take DVD players and fucking like it was no thing. Basically, it got to the point where they fucking knew we were fucking stealing shit, and they didn't give a fuck.
Right.
As long as the one guy didn't see, and they kind of tipped us off. Me and Germs kind of fucked it up, or we didn't fuck it up at all, actually. We drew the only flag in the place because me and Germs were stealing cigarettes.
Right.
Which you had to like go behind a counter for, and we had every time they did something to thwart us from doing that, we had a new tactic to make sure we could keep doing it. Literally. So me and Germs didn't pay for cigarettes for like 2 or 3 years, and eventually, once that whole thing was going well enough, I mean, dude, we were stealing cigarettes and selling them to people.
Right.
They had a no question. Basically, we found a way to resource our entire lives from that parking lot. We were underage. The liquor store would sell us beer. We would steal fucking bread deliveries from the fucking other stores and shit like that. Why? Because it was there. I don't know. I don't think you know.
I always found that to be bizarre. It was a bagel store, and they would get their bread delivered to them. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Star bread now.
Well, it's our bread now. You fucking leave it outside at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Bagel store ain't up till 6. We need some bread too. Fucking. So whatever the case, it had gotten to the point where these guys so didn't give a fuck, and they would encourage us to grab carts.
Right.
And at first we were weary, but we grabbed carts, bro. And we were literally shopping in the middle of the night and just walked across the street for all fucking food. Like, you know, we would just fill a cart with everything we needed, walk across the street.
Just praying that the police.
Always a pain in the
weren't
ass, dude. We
fucking-
didn't get the bag things.
Yeah.
Remember, like, walking out of the shopping cart across the street with all this loose food?
Just fucking praying there wasn't a cop going down the street, because the police station was literally right fucking there.
Yeah, but they didn't drive out of it.
No, usually
you're
not.
correct, but-
Usually not.
It was the problem was it was the only thing in town. So the cops, it's the only thing place for patrol. But whatever, it was never a problem. So I guess like after they had finally caught on a little bit, and now meanwhile, I had a relative who worked in the store, behind the front desk, no less.
Yeah.
So
They were doing the numbers.
well, yeah, so we had an inside to know that like some shit was up. You know, like they were like, yo, fucking, you know, like loss prevention came in and you guys did good this month, you know, like you're fucked.
Right.
They're gonna have the cameras on all the time and shit like that, and they're gonna be more strict about it, and they're locking the cigarettes up or whatever.
I'm confident. Yeah, I don't feel so bad because I'm confident that night crew did a bulk of that damage. I mean, we did some damage, but
I'm sure.
they fucking took it
Yeah,
to
they
the
absolutely
house.
were. Yeah, they were doing it. I don't know. We were pretty fucking grand,
Right.
but I mean, like they were doing it probably way longer than us
Yeah.
on just as grand a scale. Whatever the case, dude. When they would lock up the cigarettes, we'd get people to leave our brand out under the counter. We'd pay people off to make sure that our cigarettes weren't locked up because there would always be like an overflow
Right.
of like what they couldn't fit locked up. And like, so it'd be like 6, 7 cartons. Me and George were stealing cartons all the time. And dude, the more fucked up shit we stole from that place, the more we got encouraged by the fucking crew.
Right.
They fucking thought it was great for
They
some
loved
reason.
it.
The cigarettes were more accounted for and was something we had to hide a little more about. But that was me and Germs' game.
Right.
It got to the point where we got. So anyway, I guess like when they started to enforce it, yeah, we took care of the cigarettes, and they would have the cameras on at night, and we knew it before we walked in the next night that they were going to kind of be cameras now, and we walked in, and those guys would just turn off the cameras for us.
Yep.
They were just like, oh, don't worry about it, fucking now, just fucking around, no cameras, let's turn them on when you guys leave. Go ahead. I'm just like, all right.
Okay.
And life was as it was for another couple of years. Like I said, gets to the extent that, here was the other thing. We like I said, we basically found a way to resource everything from there, like literally everything. So like, if you needed money, they had a no questions asked return policy.
That's right.
So I had this scam with olive oil. I picked olive oil because it was like $20 a fucking thing. Right. So I would go in at night and I'd steal like fucking 7 things of olive oil or as many as I could get away with. And then we would sporadically return them, like for as long as we can get away with it. Ultimately, I was like commissioning high school kids to go and do all my returns for me.
Right.
And it was usually always fucking olive oil because it was common, average, and expensive.
Right.
And bro, now we had cash. We didn't pay for cigarettes. We didn't pay for food.
It's absurd and ridiculous because it's all fucking true. You know what I mean? Like,
Eventually, we had our buddy moved in, and our buddy had just like had a lawsuit, like young at like 18. I think he got hit by a car,
right.
and he like made an absurd amount of money. And he moved in with us, and like he was the only one who had fucking money.
Yeah.
So we would take care of everything else, and he was the dude with money, and he had no problem fucking spending it. So I mean, like at that point, he would buy all the weed and all the beer, and we would just get him, take care of his cigarettes and his food
Right.
for him. It was disco, like whatever the case. That went on. It never became a problem. We never got in trouble for it. We never got caught. It ran its course until either we left there
Left the
or
house.
the store stopped being 24/7.
Yeah.
Or the other. But I mean, like, dude, I didn't even know what cigarettes costed is that a word, costed? I didn't even know what cigarettes cost for the first like fucking 4 years I smoked, dude. not a single day. They're fucking cheap then too. It's a shame. But
Fucking Ed's another. Yeah, he had so much money he didn't know what to do with it. He started buying like ninja weapons and was practicing being a ninja outside in their front lawn. Like, you can't do this anywhere else. You have to be. We lived on Pascack Road, and it's the busiest street going up and down those 3 or 4
don't be
towns.
giving away the deets, bro. You're gonna fucking pinpoint us, bro.
Right.
You're gonna get all.
Well, I
you're gonna
mean,
narc.
whatever. I don't know.
Dude, there's been like that's been like 7 grocery stores since then.
Right. And fucking but Ed's just fucking practicing nunchucks, and he had those knives that went into each other, and he's just fucking have
Even
swords
worse.
outside. He's like twirling swords outside.
Even worse, our friend Ed, to make us any more high profile, he had it never sounds impressive when you say it, but he had it was a Cutlass Supreme. It's like this. It's not Oldsmobile. It looked like a Grand National, like a Buick Grand National.
Right.
It was a Cutlass Supreme. It was all flat murdered out black. It was an all engine race car. It had a roll cage in the back of it. and it was the loudest fucking thing on the road, be it the stereo or the engine,
Right.
in any town around. Not to mention, it was the fucking fastest thing on the road, to the point where, and this is like right when Fast and the Furious came out. Hunts Point in New York City. I don't really know where that is. I just know what it's called. But we would go and race his car in New York City and like drive around and like to these spots that you could race in New York City. They'd
Right.
race until the cops come, and then everyone would jump in each other's car and go to the next racing spot.
Right.
And then like bet money on it and shit like that. And dude, Ed's car was beating like cars with nitrous and shit like that. And we were like racing it on the reg. I remember he beat a Saline Mustang with nitrous one of the last nights that we did it, and it was like insane, you know, like because all the cars were fucking all Fast and Furious. They all had nitrous, and Ed's car was all engine, dude. Whatever the case, driving around our small town, there was no way to miss that car. You know, like, and that just made it worse when Ed moved in. We had a fucking hot rod, a literal hot rod, fucking parked in the fucking driveway that screamed bloody murder when you drove it. Fucking, it couldn't have drawn more attention to itself. And fucking crazy stereo too. And we had a fucking band or 6 that played in the parking lot or played in our basement all fucking night long.
All night long.
When I say all night long, I mean at 6 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
me and Loki would go downstairs and start jamming. And or fucking 3, 4 o'clock in the morning
Didn't
on a
matter.
Monday,
Didn't matter.
didn't matter. You would only hear the snare drum in the parking lot.
Yep.
You were like, didn't matter. So, and then the parties.
We did
So,
a lot
I mean,
to
like,
draw.
you couldn't miss us.
Yeah, we did a lot to draw attention to ourselves.
Yeah, dude. Do you remember how many times the cops came?
They came so much that we put security cameras all around the house.
Do you remember the first day we put security cameras in the driveway?
I don't remember.
That's only because our friend worked at Radio Shack. We had security cameras. I don't think they were on purpose. I think we just got them because like he jacked them from work.
Right. But you
And we
know,
were like, what are you doing? That's stupid. Put them on, we can see the driveway, dude, because you couldn't see past the American
it
flag.
came in handy, dude.
Dude, the first day we put up the fucking security cameras that were on the driveway, with security cameras, it was one fucking camera that
Right.
faced the driveway. And we didn't have cable or anything. We had like 4 VHS tapes, and I remember 3 of them, by the way.
Right.
Evil Dead, Exorcist, and Airheads. I think the 4th one was a Pantera home video. Not sure, don't quote me. So that got old really quick, and we had a hanger for an antenna. So one day we got Much Music for free. Really fucking weird. Don't know how that happened. Whatever the case. So basically, we ran the camera. So we sat on the couch in the living room and watched the driveway
Right.
on the TV. The first day we had the camera, we got raided by the cops.
Was
Like-
that because of the fucking sign?
No, I think it was because of you.
Was it me?
And then ultimately became because of the son. I think what would happen is my mom had gotten good news on like I said, my mom had a lawsuit, you know, going like against the town, or rightfully so, like, you know, well deserved.
Right.
We got some news on it, and it was good news, and hopefully times ready to get better.
I was.
and
a
look, it was
I'll
like-
tell you right now. I was
I
Ed.
think it was.
Ed was
Well,
fucking yelling.
You
like,
you and Ed decided you were gonna start drinking at like fucking 12 in the afternoon.
But he was the
You
one
went-
smashing bottles, dude. He was yelling,
Yes.
"Fuck the
They
town."
started-
I am not that guy. I'll drink out there, but I
Sure.
was not doing that. Ed was like, "Fuck you." He's just like,
You and Ed were drinking though.
Yeah.
You and Ed had a party by yourselves in the afternoon
yeah.
in white suburban America, fucking
And the
crashing
people,
bottles into the driveway,
the people
and we got
across the
cops
street-
called on us.
Yeah, the
They thought
people
we were
across the
fighting.
street were very scared. They thought there was a fight because Ed was just smashing bottles on the fucking driveway. Oh
Which
my
there
God.
was no fight, but not even close. So, dude, we're sitting there, and we're like, I think like a couple of us are inside, and we saw like car, like every cop car in the fucking town just on our house, shit in our pants, which gave us enough time to hide like the bong and like the weed or whatever, which was all that needed to happen. Really, that's all we had. Really,
Yeah.
you know, to be afraid of. So we thought. And they came guns drawn. Like, dude, there was like fucking 4. Probably not exaggerating. There were a dozen cops. There were well more cops than there needed to be.
Right.
that came up on our lawn, guns drawn, but unnecessary.
Unmarked cars. They fucking drove
Yeah.
onto the grass. Like the whole front of the house.
Like a movie, bro.
Yeah, it was just
So unnecessary. To our surprise, really,
Yeah.
you know, like we weren't even partying that hard. It was the daytime.
Yeah.
Just screaming. So in any case, whatever. We didn't do anything wrong, so fucking nothing happened. We're just like, yo, dudes, you know, like,
yeah.
what's up? No fight here, man.
Right.
Whatever the case, when they started swarming our house, no, to think that, I don't know, we were young assholes, dude. We had a lot of collections going. We would collect a lot of street signs. We collect a lot of like all sorts of street signs.
Right.
You know, from streets, from roads, stop signs, do not enter signs, no skateboarding signs. If there was a sign that we liked, we took it. We also collected ashtrays. It's like swanky ashtrays, like the big ones that would be like outside banks and like municipal ashtrays. The heavier, the better. Yard ornaments, heavier the better. Lions and tigers and bears. If you had a fucking ornament on your front lawn that was concrete and you were anywhere where we were driving, we eventually took it from you. Yo, do you remember fucking Robin Michael's neighbor's house when we were kids? It was terrible. It's like we'd go down there, like where Michael lived near Halloween. Like his neighbor had like really swanky like Halloween decorations. We robbed him blind. Like I can tell you that most of Mr. Monster's Halloween props and like stage props were all from that lawn.
What about that ridiculous lion that you guys got?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I was the only one who ever lifted it. Do you remember that?
It was crazy.
It was I don't know how much it fucking weighed.
It weighed a
was
lot.
heavier than our strongest roided friend couldn't lift it.
Right.
Not that I was fucking any stronger than him. The real secret is that I picked it up off of a ledge that was at chest level,
Chest height, and yeah, you had the
and everyone else had to pick it up off the ground.
right.
That was really the secret. Whatever case, if it was hard to steal, we were taking it. We were eventually going to find a way to take it if we wanted it. And the more we'd look at it, the more we'd want it. So it would become a challenge, and when we were bored, that's what we would do. So basically, in like one of the surrounding towns, we noticed an Elm Street sign, and we're like, "Yep." It was like cross street.
Yeah.
And it had taken us like 3 or 4 nights to get this sign, because like we had never stolen one of those signs before.
What'd you guys do?
You
Just go hack at it for a couple.
It took 3 or 4 nights.
Yeah.
We went, and we got more angry that we couldn't get it every night. Because there's only so long you could bang on and rip on and pull on without fucking it getting shady.
Yeah.
This is a great one, actually. So I think it was probably me and Germs every time. Me, Germs, and Ed, maybe. We couldn't get the sign on it. We were trying to get the top of the sign off because we didn't want the fucking pole. What were we gonna do with that? You know, we just wanted the sign off the top, and that's not possible. You need a special tool for it. We never did get our hands on that tool. Or figure out what it was even.
Right.
But you can't get that shit off the top, or at least these ones. So after 3 or 4 nights, I think by the 3rd night we had knocked it down. So at least like we knocked the street sign down on the ground, and it made such a noise that we drove away. Came back the next night to get it, and I'm pretty sure that how we got it down is Germs just fucking drove his car ramming speed into the sign, which was another sport. Germs often would just, without announcing it, would just ram his car into a sign he wanted on the parkway, on the fucking, and get out of the car, pick it up, put it in the back. So the Elm Street sign was, here we finally fucking get the thing out of the ground, and we're fucking taking it, and we're like, we're not leaving it here now.
Right.
Me and Germs never considered that the car we had wasn't big enough to fucking carry the fucking sign. The pole was longer than the fucking car.
Yeah.
But we weren't leaving it there. So we drove 3 towns away, me and Germs. Like, he was in shotgun or driving, and I would be behind him, and we'd put our hands out the window. It was the winter too. Put our hands out the window, and we held the pole like outside the window, like on the side of the car.
Right next to the car, yeah.
Right next to the car. And we drove the whole way back to my house.
With the sign sticking
And
out.
we made it the whole way. the sign's like hanging off the
Hanging
bumper of
out,
the
yeah.
car. And I'll never forget this one. We were so stupid, dude. It was one of the least slick things we ever did. But we pulled up finally, like near the house. We were right next to the fucking house, and we saw a cop car parked in the A&P parking lot. And I don't know if it was me, Jerms, or both of us, but we fucking dropped it. And probably
right then and there.
dropped it not to get. Yes, we dropped it on the side where the library is.
Right.
That street. We dropped it when we saw the cop car. I don't know why. I don't know what. We never considered how fucking loud it was going to be to drop a fucking metal pole in at fucking 3-4 in the fucking morning in a back, like a huge empty parking lot. It sounded like a fucking bomb went off. And it turned out that there was just a cop car parked there, or like it was nothing.
Yeah.
So we still drove away. We parked it, and then me and Joe ran across the street, picked it up off the road, ran inside with it.
And inside.
And well, not inside. We ran and like we threw it in the backyard. And the idea was always like, we're gonna get that Elm Street sign out there. And we just probably never did, or even never tried. We probably tried once. And just sat in my backyard after that. It was just like raw dog fucking
Right.
3 towns away sign just sitting in my backyard. And that day when the cops came and they fucking swarmed the house like that, they come and they go, where'd you guys get this? And do you remember what we said?
We blamed it on Sean Donlan.
Yes, we did. We blamed it on we fucking narked the kid. We totally. There was this kid in town we all hated, and
We
we
hated
fucking
him.
we
He
just
wasn't
were
even
like,
in
yo,
our town, right? Like he
our
was
friend
in
Sean took that,
Yeah.
man. Sean Donlan took that.
Hated that
SEAN. You know, like
kid. Right.
so the cops fucking leave. And do you remember the next move?
Well, we tried to bring it down to the basement. No.
Bro. We tried to bring it inside, and fucking this sign is so big and it's so long, and so like the width of. We had to bring it in the back door through the kitchen of the house. We couldn't like, dude. It was like the back door was here and the basement door was here. We want to get in the basement. You think you could open the doors and just go straight down the basement?
No.
No. The only way to get it in. It was a bad idea from the start. Well, we didn't know they were coming back for it, but we were like, yo, we can't leave that sign out there anymore.
Right.
They didn't like that was there. We're going to make it disappear. And we had to carry it through to the biggest room of the house so we could turn it around to go back the way we came
To bring it
out
downstairs.
and get it down the stairs. And which was an arduous process.
Right. And
That is
stupid
fuck-
because the cops come back and they're like, "We want the sign."
Yeah. As soon as we got dude, not even the cops, like a municipal truck showed up
Right.
and fucking was like, here, pick up the sign. We're like, what sign? You know?
The sign.
And
you
I think
fuckers
we
stole.
we gave it up.
Yeah.
We did. We just reverse engineered that whole thing again.
Yep.
Brought it out, gave it back to him. I guess that's not. But we had it for years, man.
Right.
Would have been awesome. We kept it. What was the fucking?
Sorry, Sean Donlan.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's no sorry.
It's probably
Fucking, he
fine.
deserved it. I don't even remember what he did.
I don't even remember what he did. Either.
He fucking he had been on all of our shit lists at once, and he was a real motherfucker. So we didn't even know it stuttered. We were like, "Oh, we're the second for our friend stole it. Who?" And 3 of us, Sean Donlan, all at the same time, dude. Like no plan, nothing. Knew what to say. I fucking could say 2 times in my life that I ever dropped a name in a police department. No, that's the only time. The other time they knew the kid's name right.
Right.
But that was worth it too. That was fucking worth it. You remember the time I almost got arrested out there?
At where?
That's a bad story to tell, probably. I got arrested in front of my grandma outside of the A&P.
Oh, it was
Mid daylight. Fucking some dude was picking on my sister. And he was like an older guy. My sister was a teenager. My sister called me scared, told me to come help her. I was her big brother, dude. Fucking, my mother had sicked me on this dude. She's like, your sister calls you and she says this guy's there. You fucking kill this dude. And I was like, all right, Mom. And I was a fucking 17, 18. I was ready to kill anything.
All right, Mom.
I'm like, yeah, I had permission from my mom, dude. Fucking my sister. That's like
Right.
the law. And I got cuffed, or basically like this guy was in the A&P or whatever, and he was outside, and like I remember I got the call in the garage or something,
Mm.
and I just like I think it was a wrench, I grabbed like a plumbing wrench. It was just because it was the first thing, and I went across the street and I just like paced outside the A&P. And this kid saw me and he called the fucking cops on me, which was really dumb because he was like 20 something years old.
Stalking your
And
sister.
he was bugging my sister, and he had some relations with my sister, and it was fucked up.
Right.
Like, he was harassing her and fucking. I was fairly confident at that point. Like when I got arrested, I remember, dude, I got the cuffs put on me. Only time in my life I had cuffs put on me. And fucking as soon as I get slammed on the car and get cuffs put on me, my grandma walks out with a shopping cart, and she's like, "Oh, hi, Joseph." Fucking, so my grandma said me not get arrested. Got down to the police station. I told them my story. I'm like, that kid is 22 years old. My sister is 15 years old. Can I go home now? They're like, absolutely, sir. Have a nice day. And I was not arrested anymore.
Right.
You know, like they were totally like, I believed in it, and it came true. I was fully felt justified, man.
Yeah. Of course.
You know, like I was like, well, the bigger crime, I didn't do anything. I was gonna kill some. I was hypothetically might have killed this kid if he came outside. You know, I don't do fucking nothing. You know, all of a sudden, me brandishing, wasn't even brandishing. By the time cops came, I saw it through the thing. So I didn't even have anything on me.
When did we leave that house? Do you know?
Right before Gotham Road,
So it was right before then. All right.
we had done the first like Gotham Road jam or two. Gotham Road had jammed in there.
Right.
I don't know if it was officially Gotham Road. It might have been.
So
We
like
might have done a
2002
couple.
style, early 2003.
We assembled the band in December 2002.
Right.
And like did our first rehearsals at that time, which I have a fucking tape of, by the way. I had the first time that Gotham Road ever jammed together. I have a cassette tape of it.
So the only reason I bring
And you
that
know what?
up
It's fucking really good.
is it.
Surprisingly enough. Oh, it was great, dude.
Yeah.
You don't remember that it was great? I
I
was
have
surprised about that.
I have a recording of it, audio.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The first time we ever jammed together in a room, we were
Yeah, it was
really
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
And every one of us was
That's pretty much
happy with ourselves.
this is a band. This is
Yep.
a band.
Yep. Day one. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
There's still songs we played on that tape that we never played though. It's really weird. Like Michael had given us a list of songs to play and we're learning. There was a lot of songs too.
Right.
More
Dearmore is one of those.
DMR was on that list. All the 98 Graves demos were there. Like was even Misfit songs that, I mean, you guys fucking probably, you probably played them all eventually.
Yeah.
You guys definitely did. Oh, how the fuck did that, man? How much did Michael have to pay you to play Mars Attacks?
Once
Did you negotiate like a higher pay to play all those bullshit songs?
because I hate Mars Attacks. So
Really? I didn't know that. I personally hate that song. I didn't know you.
No,
hated it.
I hate that song. Like it's a
I
bad
fucking
song.
loathe that
But
song. It's a
the
bad
thing that kept me interested in playing the song because it's
It's
all
the
right
only riff
to-
on the record.
It's all right to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it
And
became, yeah,
it's like
and
the
it
only
just
like-
became a cool challenge to like sing most of it while I was playing and doing all those runs. That became like the game for me. You know what I mean? Like you just make up games for yourself to be interested in what the fuck you're doing. And a lot of that set is like that because the songs. I mean, listen.
Listen. The challenge of playing the record front to back is awesome.
Yeah.
That would be an exception for me. But I would have never agreed to play Mars Attacks independently of itself. So that would be the only way I would fight you guys all day. Did you guys do like Dead King's Rise and shit like that?
No, we stuck to the regular.
I would have wanted my money back.
Michael hates that song. He won't play it.
Fucking-
Won't play it.
There's another one that he doesn't like. See, we had learned it once when I was in the band.
1 million years BC.
1 Million Years BC is a fucking fantastic
He
song.
hates it.
I know, it's
He
such
thinks
a good
it's the
song.
worst shit ever.
Dude, for years, I couldn't write a song that I wasn't ripping that song off. I ripped that vocal line off every song I wrote for like a fucking solid 5 years. Everything I wrote was that song.
Dude,
I fucking
he hates it so much that one time it came on in the car. Arturo's driving. He's like, "Turn this shit off!" Like he's freaked out and started yelling at Arturo to turn it off.
dude, on I believe, probably one of the first long tours that we did back in the band. I wrote the set list. and I'd spoke to Michael about doing, like doing some newer, different shit, and I got him to agree to doing that song. He wasn't mad. He wasn't mad about it. And you and Tony had learned Bruiser, which is a fucking one of the best Jerry Only songs.
I think we
Bruiser
were
and
ready to
fucking
play Bruiser. We were ready to play that, but we never did.
it's a great song.
Yeah.
It's fucking better than Mars Attacks.
I agree.
Bruiser, and we had, like me, you and Tony, we knew Bruiser and what was that? 1 Million Years BC. At one point, we even played No More Moments in an earlier band. That was when Jason was in the band.
Right.
That song was a lot of fun to play live. Like, and I think it's a great song. But I don't know. That band had a lot of odd choices of what got cut and stayed.
Yeah.
It's not. It isn't. It isn't. I mean, like, all right. It's 18 songs on Famous Monsters and American Psycho.
I'm talking about the whole catalog. Like when you're, it's just there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff to play.
Dude, how long did it take to play it? What's both those records back to back? Like time wise, you got to know this.
What are you saying?
How long is it to play both records?
Hour and a half.
Ain't that long? Come on, Loki.
It's an hour and a half.
I know
like
that. I know that ain't the longest set you played.
Oh, I thought you were asking me how long it took us to play that set. I thought that
when you guys did that set, when you did the fucking Famous Monsters and Psycho and Famous Monsters back to back, was that all you played?
Most nights.
Like you did no Grave songs?
Yeah, we would do no Grave songs. I think there was a few times where we threw in like 3 at the end.
I'll tell you, that's an easy night in the books, bro. Yeah. An hour and a half set for Graves?
Yeah.
I mean, like, we've definitely
those
done
tours were
regimented.
Like, they wanted us to play an hour and a half.
Oh, of course, dude. It's so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I can't believe fucking Chud didn't do that. I mean, it would have sucked if he did it. I mean, it would have been a disaster internally.
Right.
But, like, that anyone was, like, what else was he going to do? I can't believe he didn't do that with you guys.
Yeah.
I can't believe he was welcomed to do it. Like, just that Michael was willing to work with him like that.
Right.
I mean, not willing. That's not even the first time this happened. But just that they reached out on such a great opportunity, and Chud had fucking yeeted himself fucking 3 times. I just said yeeted.
Yeah, we were both.
When you guys told me that he fucking wouldn't do that.
We're bringing that on, and he said no. He said he didn't say no, not basically. He told us to go fuck ourselves.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. I mean, like, I guess good on him sticking his. I don't know what guns he's got and why he's got them. I guess good on him.
Apparently, he's got his own problems right now. So.
I can't believe that though. What a fucking cool I know what a fucking disaster would have been backstage or in the band or whatever. I know it would have fucking been miserable for you guys.
Yeah.
But bro, on the other hand, Jesus Christ, man, you don't have to fucking people would have lost their fucking mind. Especially because you guys were doing that like at the same time that the fucking original Misfits were doing their fucking thing. That would have been so cool, dude. To have had that going, and I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there. I just heard you guys talk about it and shit. But weren't the guarantees?
Considering what happened in South America, I'm happy that he was not a part of that tour because
I don't know that.
We were getting fucking royally screwed over. Our guarantees were good, but we were guaranteed to play 500 cap venues. And they would change the venues to 2,000 cap, and we'd sell that out, and they would just stick to the original guarantee. You know what I mean? Like, hello, that's fucking.
Yeah, no. That's not how it works.
Yeah, that's not how it works, man.
Yeah, you should have played American Psycho and walked off stage.
So, that happened once and then twice, and then we would be asking the agent, "Hey, man, are you seeing anything extra from this? Because we haven't seen a fucking thing." And then
because I know how to count.
Right, you know what I mean? My sheet said here that we were playing venue blah blah blah, and it's not the venue. We're at some other venue, and it's a lot fucking bigger.
We agreed to a 500 cap venue, fucking at $25 tickets, fucking and we were getting paid accordingly to that.
We ended up playing 22 shows on that tour. We were supposed to play 27, and that happened 12 or 13 times on that tour.
Oh wow! Well,
so if you
listen, it's not fair in business, but were any of you really pissed off about it?
Yeah.
Were you pissed off that there were fucking 2,000 people instead of 500?
No. That's not the part. But like, dude,
I would have been.
You're talking about tens of thousands. At that point, that's tens of thousands of dollars. Sure. You think about one show that fucking.
I've never made tens of thousands of dollars.
That's what I'm saying, man. So you get a little upset. You get a little upset when it's tens of thousands of dollars, man.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. It wouldn't, I'm not the businessman.
And you multiply that by 13, you get very upset.
I'm not the businessman in any band. What am I talking about? What you don't remember, because the only time I ever had to do business, you weren't there. Steelers won.
Right.
It was a disaster. The only Loki left.
What band is this?
Tarot.
Okay.
Your brother got in a car. Yeah, your brother got in an accident.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, that's the only time you ever weren't there.
Right.
I can't imagine. But what's weird is that I remember that happening in California, and I'm positive that what happened to us was in Texas, unless we worked back.
Yeah, you worked back.
Okay. So Joe's first day of his, I'd been in a fucking touring band for fucking 12 years probably before that. But fucking everyone in Darrow aside from me and Loki was relatively rookie. Loki did everything. I mean, he was Loki. I didn't even fucking call shots. Fucking Loki booked that shit. He did the business. He made the arrangements. And we didn't touch the money. Loki did. We didn't want to touch the money either. Fucking more responsibility. And that system worked out great. Loki did better at it than any of us were gonna. We all knew that, and we were all okay.
Is this the Austin gig?
Yeah, dude. That's what I was gonna say. The first day of my life ever being the tour manager of a tour. We played Austin. We pulled up to the venue, and there are they tell us, just park over there, guys. And where we were told to park, there were literally prostitutes, pimps, and drug dealers in 2 parking spots wide conducting their business. And we were supposed to ask them to move so we could park our van with all of our shit in it there. And I was
super sketched.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know about this, guys. I don't think that that's the best idea. So I guess we parked somewhere else and stayed in the van. And the show, we got to the show, and it was I don't remember what it was. Something was fucked up. Something was beat. It wasn't the negotiation that we had, or some bands had dropped off, or something was fucked up. There was no one there. And I remember we should have left, to be honest with you. We walked in, and I think they told us they weren't going to pay us, or they told us that whoever that we made a deal with wasn't there, and they weren't sure that they could pay us.
Right.
Or something. And I was probably, you never want to not play, dude. I remember looking in the window, there was not that many people there, and it was totally sketchy, and I didn't want to park our van where we did. I was ready to come out to our van fucking on blocks, dude.
Right.
We load in, or I remember looking in past the dude, at the door, told us we weren't getting paid, and seeing 2 kids in skull face, just being fuck.
Right.
Fuck.
Just gotta play.
They're definitely here to see us, or or at least, I think we were the only horror punk band with Bill or anything like us. We weren't a horror punk. What I was talking about, I just
right. But you just know, yeah.
Yeah, we knew that they were there for us, and there's only 2 of them. So I make the executive decision at the last minute, and I tell Dean not to park in that spot. And there was a barber shop next door to the club. And there's this dude who seemed all right enough. And we asked him, we're like, hey, man, this lot over here, is yours or is it public? Or is it cool if you park there? And he said, yes. He goes, he's like, I ain't going to call the cops on you. He's like, You know, like it's my lot. I ain't gonna call the cops to you. If you want to park there, go ahead. So we did. I was the last one out of the van, as usual, and the first one back to the van. Left the van, locked it up, went inside, rocked the show. We
Is
even
this
played a
the
shorter
first
set.
show back?
First show without you. First show without you. So play the show, abbreviated it, got out of there quick. You know, probably the shortest set of the tour. I walk back to the van, soak it wet, go change my fucking clothes, get out of my swimsuit, and there's no fucking van there.
Van's
dude.
gone.
Van gone. No van. Used to have a van, didn't have a van. Used to have a Loki, didn't have a Loki.
Right.
Left Joe in charge, no van. So fucking, we had $400 in cash, I believe, from the entire tour. That fucking we wouldn't have had unless Loki had fucking
Right, and you were just through a rough stretch because
budgeted.
you dropped me off
we had
in
a
Phoenix.
crazy, we had a crazy drive from California, stopping in Phoenix to fucking. So we probably just spent $400.
Right.
You know, one thing is total side story. If you would have told me on any night of Darrow Chemical, if when we were planning those tours, if you would have said, Joe, we're going to spend $500 in gas on this day, I would have been like, I'm not going to make it. You know, like, there's no way. There's no way. And there were like 2 or 3 days on that tour. We spent $500 in gas.
Yeah.
Incredible. And dude,
Driving through the mountains, going back from California to Texas, you just know those days are going to be fucked up.
had I been on the road the whole day, had like Loki stayed home from that tour for whatever reason, and it had been me in charge, we wouldn't have made it to Texas. We wouldn't have made it off the East Coast. I remember I didn't even, bro, I know most of the things. I mean, you and I do different things in the band.
Right.
We're always at different roles. I learned, like, I was never so impressed with your prowess that day. And I don't believe that you knew what you were doing. I think you got lucky. I don't think you had
I
the
knew what I was
foresight to
doing.
see.
I'm the one
No,
that
no,
booked the
no,
tour.
I'm sorry. Not knew what you were doing. That's not what I mean. As to the fact the point I'm about to get to.
Right.
Is that you did something fucking so smart that I never would have thought of. And at that point, almost every tour I'd done was with you. So we were vocal of
Right.
the do's and don'ts. I never learned this trick. Or I never knew this. But the way the money worked out in Darrow was me and Loki didn't take anything to the band ever. We gave everything that we had in.
Right.
Fucking, and if there was enough money after gas, after everything else, to give everyone $10 a day, then they got it. If there wasn't, they didn't get it. And we fed everyone every day.
Right.
Everyone ate on the band every day. That's what we could afford to do. That was within our means. So first couple days of the tour, things are great, dude. We're in the van, new van, things are going good. Fucking, we're playing the East Coast. You know, we probably play like 15, 20 shows. Now, when you're on the East Coast, the rides are like 2-3 hours apart from each other.
Yeah.
It's that. You don't even get a tank of gas some days when you're playing the East Coast, you know? And we had amassed a bank of money. Like, we had actually made some fucking money. By the time we were in Florida, it was like, yo, we got money. What the fuck? You know, like, everyone got $10 a day.
Yeah.
Everyone's been eating like fat fucks. Fucking, we used to, Darrow's motto is that we supersize our combos. Everyone in that bank could eat. It was really weird. And that was a big thing to us. So we made sure we fed everyone real well. So I think I had gotten on you. Like, I was like, yo, let's give these guys some more money, dude. We're doing all right.
Matt Johnson
you know,
got on me also.
we're going good, man. Like, let's like make this $20 a day or something for these
Right.
guys. You know, like, fucking, we're working hard. Things are going well. And Loki's like, nope, didn't say why. Loki said no. When Loki said it, fucking, I listened to it.
Right.
Fucking, and I fucking sold to the other guys, made up some shit. You know, it was like Loki said no. And they were like, oh, Loki said no? All right, don't worry about it. It probably went literally something.
Right.
So yeah,
Did I ever break it down to you? I didn't break it down to you. Why?
No. Well, yes. Once we had gotten out west, you did, or
Okay.
we realized it. So You never, bro. You never told me, and you never told me until you'd already done it.
Right.
And that's why I don't believe that you knew what not knew what you were doing. It's a bad way to put it. That you knew this trick, or maybe you were just. I believe that you were just conserving because you knew a disaster was going to happen, or you just knew to keep a bank.
Right.
You know, like
The long
so-
drives did frighten me because I've done those so many fucking times in different applications, and there's
By
just
the time-
nothing there. And gas is more expensive on the West Coast, dude. Like a lot more.
and you don't, and it's hotter.
Yeah.
You're running the air conditioner all day. Fucking longer drives. You're doing inclines in some areas. Just burn through more gas, longer rides, and we would do anything we could. I mean, you want to not have long rides, but
Yeah.
man, you want to get to the middle of the fucking country because there's not a lot of awesome things in the middle of the country. There's not a lot of awesome shows. You didn't have a lot of awesome connects in the middle of the country, so we wanted to get from the East Coast, from the Midwest to the West Coast as quick as
Yeah.
possible. No one wants to play the Dakotas and Montana.
Chicago to Denver
Fucking-
as fast as possible, please. Let's go.
Yes. Tragedy fucking literally fucking struck in California. Loki's brother had a terrible accident. I guess we dropped him in Phoenix,
Yeah.
and Joe was the faithful leader of a rookie crew of people who were on their first or second tour. And Mikey Wasted.
So you walk outside. There's no van. You do what?
Oh yeah, dude. Walk outside, there's no van to do what? Fucking start asking questions. And I go to back to the promoter or whatever. I'm like, yo, dude, our van is near you. Like, this has happened before. Like I didn't know if the van got stolen or
Right.
I had no idea what happened because that's exactly what I thought was going to happen to begin with. But it got stolen where we were. Like where I said not, to park
Right.
as not to be in the bad spot. So I was shitting my pants, and these guys are still in the show, loading out and shit. And I'll never forget this. The guy's like, I told you to park over there. Why'd you park over there? And I'm like, oh, we talked to the barber, and this is going on over there. And the guy's like, the barber? I'm like, yeah. He's like, he's racist. I'm like, what? He's like, he hates white people. And I'm like, oh,
Right.
fuck, don't talk to the barber. Sorry, wish you would have told me that before. So the barber totally told us we could park there.
And
I
then
don't
he
know if he was
just
fucking
fucking-
racist or not.
Right.
But yeah, I guess he told us he could park in his lot, and then he called the cops on us immediately. Definitely had a fucking deal with
Yeah,
the
because
towing
the set's
company
not
type of
that.
thing?
The set wasn't that long.
the set was shorter than ever that night too, because there was no point in playing it.
Right.
It was just a matter we weren't getting paid. No one, one or two people there to see us. No one we knew.
You know what's fucked up
No,
is
like-
that you try to get a tow when you need it, and it won't ever get that fast. You'll never get a tow that fast.
Oh yeah, no way.
You know?
Dude, it's always the same. There were places in our town where like that too. Like the diners would have deals with towing companies, and they just fucking pay each other off. Like
Yeah.
the diner would be like, every time someone parks here, you call this towing company, and we'll give you 20% of everything.
Right.
That's a fucking common deal everywhere, I'm sure, for shady fucking business people who own a big fucking parking lot where there's no parking.
I forget who
Um,
called me. Someone called me. I don't know if it was you, Dean, or
Probably
Sam.
me crying and shitting my pants.
And like
No, we probably called like Sam or something,
maybe,
and she probably called you, or
yeah.
I don't know. I probably called you.
What I
I think
do
I did,
remember is that I just gotten home. My brother is like in this terrible car accident, and I'm like having to deal with like seeing him. I'm in a bad fucking mood, and I was pretty much like, "Yo, figure it out, figure it out. Find the fucking. It got towed. Fucking call the tow
We got
company. Figure it
impounded,
out."
dude. We got impounded with a van and a trailer, which
Yeah.
is pretty hard to do.
Yeah,
And so we had all this gear in the middle of Austin, Texas, with pimps, hookers, drug dealers, and we're left fucking all these rookies in the not I should call them rookies, but inexperienced road dudes in their first time in Austin outside with a bunch of gear.
how'd you find
Kinda
out
gloves
what tow
didn't pay
company
us.
took it?
I think they fucking just knew. Someone
yeah.
gave me the number or something. Yeah, we weren't the first. The racist barber, that was his scam, I guess,
Thing, right?
Yeah, I guess that's what got him off. And of course the barber shop is miraculously closed in our fucking 25-minute set. Fucking nowhere to be found, the barber. So what I did finish before is that yes, we had been doing much better than we had ever presumed on the East Coast. once we got out west, like I said, had Loki told me that there were days on the tour that we were going to spend $500 in gas, I would have suggested that
We not do
we
that.
not let that happen, or that we not even go on that tour if we had to have that happen. Because there's no way we're going to have $500 in gas for any one day,
Right.
let alone a couple. And when we got to those situations, I'm sure that you were a little surprised at how steep it was as well.
Going
But we did have that money.
going into
did
that
make it
tour,
through.
we were well prepared because we had just come off the fucking Kickstarter or whatever the fuck we were doing, Indiegogo.
And
Like
were
we had
very
set
efficient
ourselves
with
up
it, too.
to be successful. Like the tour was well booked for a band of our stature to have that many dates
Absolutely.
without that many days off. I thought we were gonna do well, even though there was like those lumps.
I knew
But-
we'd survive.
We would have finished great if my brother didn't fucking get into an accident.
Yeah. It was a different tour when you went there.
Yeah. But
Completely
we had
different.
set ourselves up, like we prepared
Yes.
like really, really well
That's
before
what
we
I'm
left for that
saying
tour.
too. Is that like me and Loki and Sam Wolf had done most of that prep,
You remember what
Um,
happened the first show that tour?
and Doug as well. Doug and Jill as well. Absolutely. I'm not to take any credit from anyone. Everyone worked hard on that, man.
Yeah.
But me and Loki set that plan in motion, saw it through, set in an unrealistic amount of goals,
Right.
and
You remember
Not
what
only
we
saw
had like
through
on my
them.
big screen television, all the sticky notes on the big screen, and we're just writing shit down.
we'd be recording demos. And it'd be like that screen was just like the calendar,
Right.
Pro Tools, calendar, Pro Tools all day long. I would literally every day I would get dropped off at Loki's house at 8:30 in the morning. Loki would usually be asleep. I would like eat breakfast in his living room. Loki would wake up by like 10. I'd check my email.
Right.
And me and Loki would sit a couple hours a day, computer to computer, like booking, writing emails.
Yeah.
You know, Loki was usually doing the booking or all the arrangements. I was contacting people for Loki to contact, or
We-
doing the Warped Tour thing, or writing songs, writing lyrics. And then as soon as we would finish the emails for the day, we'd go upstairs and record songs. And boy, could we spend some time recording songs. There are songs that we recorded 7 or 8 times.
Yep.
Before we had recorded that record. We did a lot of pre-production, me and him. We spent about a season also running the Kickstarter.
Yep.
Running the Kickstarter, booking the tour, writing the songs, doing the demos, pre-producing
Doing
them,
the fulfillment of the fucking
Finding-
Kickstarter.
that's
was
a whole- that's
fucking
coming
different
later.
ordeal, man.
finding
A van? We had to find a van.
finding a van was hard.
Yeah.
Finding a trailer, finding a van, also within our budget. We had set a strict budget.
Yeah.
And we didn't
Because that budget from
set
the
ourselves
beginning
up
was
to
like,
do
all
awesome.
right.
It wasn't easy to get a van.
No, and that
Within
number
our
from the
price.
beginning, which we fucking made, thank God, because we were like, all right, it's gonna take X amount to record,
Went
X
over a
amount
little.
to fucking master, X amount to buy a van, X amount to buy a trailer. All right, let's hope we do it.
I have that list somewhere actually. I still have that of like, bro. That's another thing. If you would have told me when we started that plan, dude, I think that it had been like $17,000 or $18,000 at the end of it.
Yeah,
That like, I don't know what we made at the end of that. I don't know what the
yeah.
sum
They
of that
take a
Kickstarter
percentage.
was,
I forget what the final.
but in the end, I think we needed a couple $100, like, or we need like $1,000 more dollars,
Right.
maybe a little more. And me and you out of fucking nowhere coughed up. Like, I don't even know where you or I got the money from, but we coughed up out of pocket for the rest of it.
Well, I was
Never pay yourselves back.
I was doing guitar lessons at the time. I think that might have helped.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Oh, me too. That's right. That's exactly what
That
How the hell I
fucking
forgot that.
that bankrolled a lot of shit.
Yeah. That was, it's funny that we're being vague about that a little bit right now, because that in plan, well, I guess if we were super successful, me and Loki wanted to be on Behind the Music one day and tell the story.
Dude, I was just wanted to say that. Do you remember being much younger, than those times. And like me saying like, yo, fucking, we should do it like Notorious.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know what I'm saying?
It was planned for a while until it was happening.
Could you imagine just fucking having that story, being from the fucking street? You got to sell drugs to fucking make it, and then
Truth
finally,
be told, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but the way we did it, we sold weed.
a lot of it.
A lot of weed.
That
Both.
that bank rolled a lot of fucking shit, man.
It did. You know, like we did. We were successful with the band, successful with the music, and it paid for what it paid for. What we needed extra, you know, like even like the work order was a huge surprise. You know, like that was another couple of fucking $100 that we needed for the last minute. And to expedite the record to come out a week earlier, we had to pay extra to have the record produced earlier. It was a huge bill. All that promotional stuff. The van that I think the van was like probably $1,000 more than we wanted to spend. Yeah, man. We fucking weed.
Yep.
Weed. And we were fucking proud of it. We were like, one day, and I guess today's that day. Like one day we're gonna tell everyone weed. Straight up. And that's what it was, man.
And it just
Fucking,
became
you know,
bizarre a little bit that I
We were
started
safe.
doing
It's
it.
not like we were like sitting on corners selling to high schools.
Yeah, no.
We had shit to do. We were too busy to do that. We had a good system. Safe as it could be.
Yep.
We're still here to tell about it. Right? Look, you ever got locked up for that?
you know, it was kind of like Notorious. I fucking loved it, actually. I fucking
Loki
loved
was
it.
really into Notorious at the time. He was like real, like that movie came out.
I love Big.
He got Notorious on Blu-ray, dude. Like, right when that was fucking,
Kristen Fenners, I hope you watch this. With this Notorious on
You got it.
Blu-ray.
he had fucking Notorious on Blu-ray. And let me tell you, fucking a lot of people wanted to come to Loki's house to fucking watch Notorious in his room on Blu-ray. And Loki saw Notorious a lot, and it made it influenced a lot of things. Whatever the case, still we totally derailed ourselves.
Right.
Point of everything we were saying is that by the time we got out of the Midwest on that tour, on the way out to California, hit the fucking $500 gas days over and over and over again. Fucking, and all of a sudden, you know, none of us were counting the fucking money or knew how much, you know, like I didn't, you know, fucking Loki took care of that shit. We all trusted him, you know, like again, and there was no reason for us to ever question or not trust one another because me and Loki had more money into the fucking band personally,
Right.
that we put into it.
Like if I wanted to
And-
take all the money back, like
Totally could have. It would have been well within
like,
your
yo,
right.
this is mine now.
I mean, me too.
Right.
You know, either one of us could have.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, we never paid ourselves back
Right.
ever once. We never gave ourselves $10 a day either. We paid everyone else but ourselves.
yeah, we
Never
just
paid
fed
ourselves back.
ourselves. That's it. We just
Yep.
fucking
Oh, and NBA could
Yeah.
supersize and combos. But yeah, by the time we got out west, we didn't have a lot of money anymore.
fucking California, dude. Arizona too. $4 a fucking gallon, bro. Like back then.
We went from fucking living large on tour, thinking we were doing good,
Were-
supersized combos.
Was it with Dara where there in Arizona there was a gas shortage? Do you remember that at all?
Kind of do. Oh man,
'Cause I can't remember whether it was with Dara or with Michael or I don't.
I got one better for you. Something that happened in Arizona on that tour that you're not thinking about.
But like,
One second. We were doing so good financially. I think there were a couple days where Matt Johnson actually paid for his lunch.
Right.
And that's incredible. That's impressive. Like he actually like used money to pay for food,
that's funny.
which didn't happen. That's it never happened again. I don't think either. It was unique to that tour. So what happened when we got to Arizona is another unique story. I mean, maybe you had something crazy, you know, South America or something like. But we pulled up to the venue in Arizona
Yeah, I know you're.
and pulled into the lot, and it burst into flames. The fucking like, I don't remember how it happened. I guess like a power line.
It was like the transformer just like sparked or exploded or something, and the fucking sparks went onto the venue, and literally we were pulling into the parking lot, and the venue just started going up in flames.
Pulled into the venue, pulled into the fucking lot.
Pulled in, pulled out.
Explosion. No one else in the lot. Nothing.
Pulled in, pulled out. I'm like, well, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Fucking just drove right out.
And I'll tell you, dude, that was Kelly Carcinogen was the promoter of that
Yeah.
show, and he
That
did.
That guy's still alive. What's going on with him?
I haven't seen or heard from him in a while, but let me tell you, I always liked Kelly. I always thought he was a good dude. I think I even saw him on the BlizzKid tours and shit after that. But Kelly was awesome that day.
Yeah.
He did like Kelly was like, well, because the power was out in the whole block, so the show was off right there, like at fucking the afternoon for loading. Kelly was like, well, guys, no show. I'm really sorry. Fucking listen, I'm
The
gonna
venue's on
hang
fire.
tight. I'm gonna go get your money. We're like, still?
Yeah, these aren't things that happen.
Yeah. And he put some fucking spec on our name and his name,
Yeah.
dude. And he paid us. I fucking, he kept his end of the deal, man. Kelly Carcinogen is fucking good egg, dude. I mean, I'm not gonna shit on a lot of our friends who are promoters by any means. Not the first person to do.
Right.
Be
A
kind to
lot of
us like
people would
that.
try to bow out if there's no fucking show. There's no fucking money. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, and we would understand those things as well. We
Yeah.
would have walked away from that bummed, but what can we do? You ever seen a venue catch on fire, Loki? Or you ever fucking had the venue blow up when you pulled in the lot?
As we're pulling in, just
I have video footage of it. Not of the fire,
bizarre.
of us
Going in
talking about
afterwards.
parking and pulling in. Yeah, there's some footage of it. Or us talking about it afterwards, or deciphering parking, or driving away from it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I think we had driven like all day to get to this venue. And it was like fucking like 4 in the afternoon when we got there. And then it was no show, no one was showing up, nothing to do here. And we kept driving.
Well, didn't we go to
to the
Joey
next
Door's
one.
house?
Yeah, that's probably how it was. Still a considerable drive though.
Right.
Um,
It was, you know what? And now I'm remembering. That's why we showed up like stupid early in the morning, and I was super cracked out, and I hadn't slept, so I started drinking at 10 in the
you
morning
should
with Brian.
specify you weren't actually cracked out.
Right.
You were
It's
underslept
just
in
right.
moment.
Do we need? Is that where we are? Where we are in
We
life?
not crack.
We're at a point in life where I can't say cracked out, and people don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I don't think so. You could say it to me or us, and we know what you're talking
Right.
about. I don't think in a public forum I think you should probably specify that.
I was
Especially,
not actually cracked out, folks. I
yo, this
was-
is totally the illegal activity episode.
right.
Really fucking right? Jesus Christ.
Listen, we grew up rough, bro.
You know what it is there's not enough Jesus in our lives. This is
There's
like
not.
we're
No,
confessing.
we need more Jesus.
Yeah, we should go to
Because
confession.
those
We
people
wouldn't
are
have to do
fucking
this.
doing well.
Jesus people.
Yeah, the Jesus people are fucking.
I haven't fucking seen any of them in a while. Yo, I was at Hobby Lobby yesterday. Speaking of Jesus,
Well, you love
Still
Chick-fil-A. Have
sucks.
you've not seen a Chick-fil-A person?
I made the same comment. That's the same thing. They're not like that. Chick-fil-A is like, I mean, like, there's not like, it's not like a faithful staff. They're really nice and polite, but I wouldn't call them faithful. You know, it's not like they're
I
eating
wanted to run a
incredibly fucking
campaign
food.
for Chick-fil-A. Totally sarcastic campaign, but it was "Don't be gay, eat Chick-fil-A." Like totally fucking like that's
You
what
would
they
have got
believe.
canceled. You would have got us canceled.
It's not me. It's them. I'm not. I don't own Chick-fil-A.
At the Tracks and Tribute show, you know how we always have buttons, you know, like we would have like completely random buttons, like everything from like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to Leatherface, like fucking buttons, like big sheets of buttons of all sorts of shit we were interested in. And we made some crazy shit, totally unique buttons. There were
Right.
fucking only like 5 of some of them and shit, less. So we made some Chick-fil-A buttons because fucking I'm the same fucking bad, you know, like fucking Jesus Christ. Goddamn right, we had Chick-fil-A buttons. Someone eventually was going to make a Chick-fil-A button. And we, like in an hour, had received so many complaints that we had that fucking button on there, and we had to take it off first. Damn. All right.
Someone's telling me that in his town there's a Chick-fil-A 20 feet away from a Hobby Lobby. Just they're right next to
Dude,
each other.
This one was right. Come to think of it, they were across the street from each other,
Really?
if I'm not mistaken, in this location. You've been to this Chick-fil-A too. You know the Chick-fil-A I'm talking about. It's near the Emporium.
Is that
we
place
walked through it
gone?
all
Is
the
that
time.
place just like?
No, it's a whack sports bar.
Oh, is it?
It's still a bar. It's whack, and I believe they have a racist owner too. As a matter of fact, no, I don't believe. I wouldn't say something like that unless it was true.
What, the new
That's
place?
the accusation, at least. Yeah, Dude, apparently, dude hates black people, man. I don't know. Fucking
Right.
all black folks don't go there. They're real pissed off about it. He's racist. Go on, Tom. Serious. Check out their fucking
What are they called? What's the name of
seven.
it?
We're really out in them.
Right.
731 Sports Pub, I believe.
Okay.
It's on Emporium Drive. No one goes there anymore.
It's
Fucking,
over.
I don't even think they have bands. You know that place used to be a Buffalo Wild Wings, right? It was B-Dubs.
I did not, but looking
Yeah,
at
the
it,
Emporium was a B-Dubs.
Right.
And when you go, you probably did though, because when we would hang out in the hallway in the back, there was like still B-Dub stuff. Like there was like the yellow paint and shit would be in
Right.
back there. Yeah. Whatever the case, yes. Hobby Lobby, Chick-fil-A. Hobby Lobby, they're all Jesus-y and fucking weird, man. Hobby Lobby's weird. I don't care where you live. We got Hobby Lobby in Jersey too, I'm pretty sure.
I gotta tell you, I've never walked into a Hobby Lobby.
I've been to a lot of them. Just like you booked a lot more shows than me, I've been to a lot more craft stores than you. Fucking, how many T-shirts you ever print, bro? You know,
No.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, everyone's got a job.
Right.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time at craft stores, bro. I was saying the other day is that we used to go I never went Black Friday shopping in my life except for when we were fucking screaming. And we would go and no one would be there. It was so stupid. At like fucking 3 a.m. to Joanne Fabrics, Michaels, and fucking never Hobby Lobby actually. Just to like clear the stock on black fabric.
Really?
Like anything fucking solid black in the store that was on sale on like that day, gone.
Just grab it.
All the canvas for patches, every T-shirt in the place, every fucking sweatshirts is really what we're after. Like the sweatshirts, they had Gildan hoodies, like pullover hoodies. That would be like $8 regular price. Now they never had them in stock. You'd have to get lucky, or you'd have to order them, or when they were that cheap, you couldn't order them online. It was in store only, so the stock was a problem. But we would go to Joann's as much as possible waiting for stock. Because if the hoodies were $8 regular price, bro, when they would go on sale, dude, like you were getting black hoodies for $6, dude. Like Gildan's too. As compared to buying them through, we had wholesale IDs and shit too. Like where they would be like $12, $13 on sites that you had to have like a wholesale ID to buy from.
Right.
So like that was the deal. You couldn't rely on it, but that was the deal, bro. I was in there today, fucking sniffing around in black canvas, bro. There wasn't a fucking store in fucking New Jersey who had enough black canvas for us. All those patches and shit we were doing. But we did all the other colors.
These are the
Yeah,
things-
pink and orange after a
these are
while.
the things that band dudes get excited about.
Oh, dude, I was in Hobby Lobby today, just like nostalgic of fucking. You know what I bought today? I bought furniture sliders.
Furniture sliders. What the fuck is
Like
that?
little disc things that you put under the leg of a table,
Ah, all right. Okay.
so you don't actually have to like push the table.
Right.
It's just like, and if you have the right carbon. And I bought 3M hooks. That's it. Nothing exciting. I mean, that's what I bought. We were there for some other things. But.
We've been
Oh
talking.
no! Don't do that. Don't do that. There was one thing we didn't get to the end of.
Well, we've been talking for 2 hours and 24 minutes, bro.
Oh, fuck, dude, I've been awake for fucking 48 hours, bro.
But check it out. Like, if we
Is anyone
don't
watching
talk,
anymore?
if we don't talk about things, that's more things we have to talk about next time.
Sure, but did we finish all the things we were saying? Is my
I don't
point.
know. I don't.
I want to finish stroking your genius. Oh, and the impound thing. So in
Yeah, at
Austin,
least finish the impound story.
Yeah, it's just about over.
Right.
In Austin, first of all, you can only pay out of impound in cash, and it was only open till like 11 that you could get it out, and it was like 10:30. So me and Dean called a cab in Austin, go to this fucking place. We almost fucking stole the van from the impound lot. Very close.
Really?
We almost drove to the fence.
What
like-
made you not do that?
Not wanting to get arrested in
Right.
Texas. It's a big part of it.
Right.
But at that point, like, we were pretty hit financially from the West Coast in general.
Yeah, and then
Um,
that. Fuck.
And when you left, like we had we didn't even have our money because it was in the van. Like you had a spot in the van, you kept it in. And that was all we had. So we're like, wow, we don't have anything. I don't even have fucking dry clothes. You know, like everything we own is in the fucking van and our money. And we got paid nothing.
What'd you do?
We took a cab to the impound and we had a rough idea of what we had. We didn't know what it was going to cost to get it out. Or maybe we called, I don't know.
Right.
But we had enough to get it out. But we had nothing after that. Like we literally, if we had $400, it was like $385 to get it out.
Damn.
And we didn't get paid and we didn't fucking, so like, it's like, man, Loki would kill us. Like we have failed. You know, like
you had to go to Houston or
fucking
San
first
Antonio.
First day we found Loki fucking, and we do something that I've never had happen to us ever. We've never otherwise been impounded as far as I remember on
Right.
any other door.
No.
Our own fucking tar van, we had to fucking rescue it. And we got bailed out because all y'all, if there's any of y'all watching,
Right.
Still, all y'all bailed us out, man.
What
We
was there
made it through.
GoFundMe's back then, or what the fuck did you guys do?
No, we just fucking told the story. And fucking people fucking just
Just helped
hit
out.
our merch store. Some people just made donations to on the merch store.
Right.
And we were back in business, dude. We were at Walmart fucking eating like fucking 2 plates of fucking food and shit like that. Like people were fucking, it was awesome. I mean, like our fans were so, I mean, like every band says their fucking fans are the best. But like, not even our fans, they're our friends and our supporters. I don't even know if we had fans. We were friends with all of them, so.
You know what?
How many of our
also
fans
made-
did we know?
You know what also made those tours possible was going on dating sites and trying to find places to crash.
Dude, that was you, dude. That was the first tour. Dude, Loki signed up for every dating site and would like when we didn't have a place to stay, Loki would like
Which
just
it
book
wasn't that much. We
No, it
usually
wasn't that much.
we were really
The first tour
fucking-
was rough.
Yeah.
Loki would just jump on the grenade, bro, and he would just find like some like MILF, GILF,
Whatever.
Gothopotamus, whatever. Whoever would go on a date with him and had a house.
Right. And I
And
would
then-
always tell them, like, yo, all right, so I'm in a band, we're touring, there's like 4 of us, well, however many of us, you know, we need a place to crash, but like,
See it tonight, but I got all these dudes with me in a
yeah, I
we
got
find
all
a
these
band
dudes with me, but like, you
a
know, we'll
trailer.
fucking Netflix and chill or whatever, fucking.
And let me tell you, it fucking worked. Loki was right. Loki, you probably got luckier on that tour.
I actually really
The
didn't
fucking
like. It was
most-
actually more just hanging out because it was.
Yeah,
it
no,
was, like,
I
awkward
don't mean
most
lucky
nights.
like that.
Yeah,
I mean lucky that you got dates, so
Right.
to speak. But dude, we got really good taken care of on some of them.
Right.
Man. There was like some milfs with some kids that were like complete strangers, never heard of us in a million years.
I think
making us
one of them, if I'm
breakfast
not
and shit.
mistaken, like left for work the next day, and like we were just in the house by ourselves, and we got
Good
out when
thing
we
we're
got
good
out. You know what I
motherfuckers.
mean?
Good thing we're good motherfuckers. That's why we made it, man. Tell you this much. Let me tell you something. So fucking yeah, you know, we fucking robbed the man or we did what we had to do to get by
Right.
when times were tough. But I don't look back at that. I don't do that shit anymore, man. It's like it's just I'm older. It would embarrass me to get caught. I've never been caught stealing. I've been caught.
We
stealing
were,
once.
Joe
I
was
was
like
arrested for it.
literally 16, 17, 18. I was like 21, 22. And we had literally not a fucking pot to piss in or the water to flush it.
Nor
So-
did our families or
Right. And yeah, we had
You know, like,
nothing. We had,
literally nothing. Not even my mom.
yeah.
You know, like
So, these
Loki
are,
was estranged.
right. That was just strange. Just
But
doing-
I would like to put the disclaimer out that like fucking that was all done in necessity.
Right.
And that I don't know about you. I haven't stolen something from a
No.
fucking store. I'm so good at it though. I'm fucking excellent. It's
No.
probably I'm probably a better thief than I'm a musician.
There's no
as a
need to
result
be
of all of it.
Fiona Ryder about it or whoever the fuck. Like,
You know, who's that?
fucking,
Who's
dude,
that?
you know who steals? No, I shouldn't stay.
I know what you're gonna say. Still, I can't do it anymore, man. I just like I would be too embarrassed.
Right.
I don't think I'd be caught. But God forbid I did, I'd be too embarrassed. And I would never do that to my girlfriend or whatever friend I was with, or it would just be too embarrassing. And I can't afford to get arrested.
Right.
Fuck, that would cost more than the toothpaste that I put in my pocket, or like whatever.
You get one of those sweet fucking mug shots,
What I'm saying is that we never stole shit from fucking people.
Yeah.
Like that was one thing.
Unless it was their lawn ornaments. But everything.
Oh yeah, okay. I really, that's one of my biggest regrets ever. That's a huge regret of mine, because we would go to do it years forward, and every year the houses we robbed the year before of their Halloween decorations didn't put up Halloween decorations next year.
Yeah, you got to pay it back, and like in your older age, just start putting Halloween decorations on people's lawns.
Dude, that shit's fucking expensive, especially now, dude. They got some shit out at all these stores. It's fucking absurd what they charge for that shit. Yeah, right. It's crazy. That time was different, but you don't do that to people, man.
No,
it's not okay to do anywhere. But and mom, like we stole from department stores,
right?
Supermarkets.
Listen, we were degenerates, but that's in the past. Is basically what's happening.
Why are you talking to us? We didn't do it.
Right.
Fucking, we didn't be here. Or either that, or we'd be like emaciated, or
right,
like living in the hood somewhere.
And could all be a lie.
Could all be a lie.
Could all be a lie.
Could be a lie.
You never know. We just full of
But
shit.
yo, end of that tour, bro. Had you not fucking had the foresight, bro, to fucking tell us all fuck you when we needed anything.
Matt Johnson was literally the only person that had to like raise my voice. Like, no, dude. Like, there's a reason I'm doing this. You gotta like, because I don't know. He was a little strange about money sometimes, but I would just be like, no, man. Like, you don't understand. We're going to need this.
I got a great Matt Johnson story, and Matt Johnson will never watch this, so I can tell it. On that tour, we were rehearsing in the basement. Like a couple days before we were to leave on the tour. Matt Johnson's got a job. He's busy all day. He doesn't have the same availability as us.
Right.
And he wouldn't be as much part of anything but playing, really, which was fine. It was fine that we were good. We had a lot of helpers. And Matt Johnson's amazing. So fucking, he got away with murder.
Right.
Whatever the case. We didn't make anything on the previous tour. I'll never forget. Matt Johnson, it's 3 days before the tour. Matt Johnson has no idea all the shit we just did. He didn't even know we had a Kickstarter, know we booked the tour ourselves, know that we spent all that. He had no idea what was going on other than that we were leaving on tour.
Right.
And when we had rehearsal. So we show up to rehearsal. He goes, Joe, can I talk to you for a minute? I go, yeah. He's like, upstairs, your office? Yeah. Go upstairs, sit down. Mind you, this day I'm pretty, like this week, me and you, we spent $17,000 in like 2 days.
Right.
Like I think that exact amount in like 2 days. Matt Johnson comes upstairs and he's like, listen, Joe, I don't know if I could do this tour. And I'm like, excuse me? Are you going to chud me? Like, what? Did you say that you couldn't play the tour? And he's like, yeah, man. Last year on tour, I spent $300. And I was like, what? Like, you spent $300 last year on tour? And in the back of my mind, I'm like, we spent $17,000.
I just spent $17,000.
Like, I've never, still to this day, I haven't spent that much money or had even possession of that much money ever once in my life.
Right.
Yeah, that's the most, that's the most money I've ever had any stake in, ever. And fucking, so he's like, and dude, in the back of my mind, I'm like, Matt Johnson, I spent $300 in Las Vegas on the last tour. So that you spent $300 on the last tour is fucking incredible. Right. You're good. You should be doing our budget, dude.
Right.
Like, you should be paying motherfuckers then. You did excellent. And he didn't want to hear that, and I didn't say it either. I was just in the back of my mind. So, like, I know that Matt Johnson can't not be the tour. Right. There was no replacing him at that point. So I go, all right, man. so what if I gave you $300 right now? Could you do the tour? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, I mean, however you want it then, man. You want me to give you $300 now, or do you want me to give you $300, $10 a day for the whole tour?
Yes.
Like how do you want? You want half? You want fucking $10 a day to run out? Like, what do you want? I don't know what he said. But whatever the case, he made a really dumb decision that day. And I let him make a dumb decision that day. Because, I don't know, he fucking asked. And it's fucking, he had no idea. And I get, he was the only person who ever asked about money in the band. So he wound up on that tour. Do you know who made more money than any of us?
I guess Matt.
The highest paid member of Daryl that year? Well, it was always Dean, actually. But only band member. Dean was paid to come on the road
Right.
as a tech separately, and that was a separate arrangement outside the band, and then wound up being in the band. So it's different. Always Dean made more money. Dean's made more money in Dark Comic Book than anybody, rightfully so. But yeah, man. So Matt Johnson was like stoked. Who made the most money on that tour? Mikey Wasted.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah. Mikey Wasted, because he asked for nothing.
Right.
And had no negotiation with us. And he never asked any one day for anything. And since we did it right, we were getting $10 a day.
Yeah.
And there were more than 30 shows on the tour.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, I don't think he ever realized it to this day. He had shot himself. He would have made more money if he said nothing. If he would have just sat back and fucking been like, all right, it's like 45 dates in the tour. If I get $10 a day for this many days. Mikey Wasted was the fucking money genius of the tour. Go fucking figure. He asked for nothing, made more money than he made more money than me and you. We did all fucking work.
Yeah.
I think we can go now.
No glory.
Fucking never forget that, man. Matt Johnson, if you ever watched 3 hours of this, sorry. Next time, tell me you spent $500 on tour or something. Fucking Jesus. $300 on a whole tour. It didn't even happen.
That
Damn.
money come out of the Kickstarter?
I don't know, bro. We had fucking probably came from guitar lessons,
Right.
I don't fucking know. It didn't matter where it came from, bro. It was like, I'll fucking, at this point, we had come up with so much money.
You shut up, Matt Johnson. You're going to play drums.
Yes. We had come up with so much money that there was no amount of money that we couldn't acquire at that point, or that was going to stop. We had spent so much money that there was nothing that was going to stop. No bill was going to stop that at that point. It would have been a loss to not do it because of about $300.
We'll stop here, and maybe next time we'll talk about after we convince Matt Johnson to tour. We leave for the first show, and Rachel strikes and cuts the brake lines.
Yeah, first day in caravan, brake lines get cut. We pull out of the driveway, brake lines cut. And who saved the day?
My brother.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, right. He fucking literally saved the day. Do you? Oh, can I go one step further? I'll fucking out someone if you let me do it.
Go ahead.
Do you remember the first date of that tour?
The first what?
The first. All right, it might be the wrong tour. We were late to the first show of the tour because of that.
It was that tour.
Was that the upstate New York show?
Going to Buffalo or Rochester, one of those two.
Okay, that wasn't that bad. I'm talking about a different tour than tour before. We showed up late to the first day of the tour as well. I think it was on Dead and Wasted. Like, I think their van broke down and whatever. We showed up late and a band, and I'm going to drop their name too. That's such bad guys now. I didn't like them then. I still don't like. You know what? They suck. I did bad out. It's all right and everything. Man, I don't talk shit about nobody. But like, we didn't out these guys for so many fucking years about it, and what they did to us was so shitty. And I just don't like to fucking blabbing out people, so I didn't. I kept my mouth shut, and that was stupid. I should out more motherfuckers.
What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not sure if I know what this is.
Bro, we pull up to a venue in fucking Maryland, right? As we pull up, there's an old man standing outside when we pull up with the van and trailer going,
right?
Like, no, leave. And we got inside, and we were a little late for the show. We called. They were expecting us. They knew we were going to be late. There was a band playing when we walked in. The sun was still out.
Oh yeah, and they told us that we're too late to play.
The band was Pain. Pain, you know. Since Pain's been cool to us and stuff, whatever. I'll never forgive them for this. They did the shittiest thing that any band has ever done to us.
They
So
took the PA away.
Pain finishes their set, and we're like, booked the show with Pain. We're waiting for them to fucking get off stage so we could be like, yo, could you fucking talk to this guy? Like,
Was it them?
you know, yeah. I don't think that we knew Timmy personally yet. He turned out to
I
be an
remember
alright
this
guy.
now.
a good
Yeah,
guy,
it was a different
good guy.
tour. I remember this now. They just fucking walked out with all the PA.
Later, he became a friend.
Yeah.
And I guess somehow made it cool with us. But they definitely knew what they did to us.
Right.
But yeah, they packed up their gear, packed up the PA, and walked right by our two bands, us and Dead and Wasted,
Yep.
with the PA, took everything. The show ended 2 bands early with the sun out and didn't say a word to us. Not a fucking word. They took the PA and they went home. Motherfuckers.
Yep.
Didn't play the first show. Didn't talk shit. Now talk shit.
Well,
Feels good to
everybody,
get that off your chest.
I'm glad that some of you were fucking sticking around for fucking 2 hours 42 minutes. I'm impressed with 13 of you.
13 of us? Was there like a lot?
There were more
beginning,
before.
or-
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did we lose them? You should figure that out.
Probably at the 2 hour 10-minute mark.
I mean, what were we talking about is my
I
point.
don't know.
This is why me and Loki could do a podcast forever, because we could get off with you guys right now and do this for another 3 hours.
Right.
No problem. Still wouldn't come anywhere near completing anything.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us. Say goodbye, Joe. Goodbye.